In the quiet depths of the Pokémon world, where ancient powers slumber beneath starlit skies and legendary beings drift through dimensions beyond mortal comprehension, there exist forces so profound that they have shaped the very fabric of reality itself. These are the signature moves of legendary Pokémon, each one a testament to powers that transcend the ordinary, abilities so that echo through time and space with the weight of creation and destruction, harmony and chaos. Let your mind drift now to the beginning of all things, to the primordial void where consciousness first stirred. Here in the space between spaces dwells Arceus, the original one, whose very existence preceded the birth of the universe. From this alpha Pokemon flows a technique known as Judgment, a move that channels the fundamental forces that govern all existence. When Arceus calls upon Judgment, the air itself seems to hold its breath as multicolored beams of pure creation energy descend from above, each ray carrying within it the power to reshape matter and energy according to the will of the one who spoke reality into being. The move adapts to whatever plate Arceus holds, shifting through the 17 types like a prism refracting the light of creation itself, reminding us that all elemental forces spring from a single, unified source. Floating gently through the cosmos, we encounter the Lake Guardians, three small but immensely powerful beings who govern the fundamental aspects of consciousness itself. Mesprit, the being of emotion, possesses a technique called Healing Wish, a move that speaks to the deepest wells of compassion and sacrifice. When Mesprit employs this ability, it channels every fragment of his life force into a burst of pure healing energy, completely restoring a fallen ally while rendering itself unconscious in the process. This selfless act embodies the very essence of emotional connection, the willingness to give everything for another, and in its gentle radiance, we see reflected the bonds that tie all living beings together in an invisible web of care and understanding. Azelf, the being of willpower, commands a move known as Last Resort, a technique that emerges only when all other options have been exhausted. This ability requires that every other move in Azelf's arsenal has been used at least once, representing the ultimate expression of determination and the refusal to surrender even when faced with impossible odds. When Last Resort finally activates, it strikes with devastating force, channeling the accumulated weight of every struggle, every moment of perseverance, every decision to continue fighting when hope seems lost. It is willpower made manifest, the crystallization of the spirit that refuses to break. Uxie, the being of knowledge, wields Future Sight, a move that pierces the veil of time itself to strike at a predetermined moment. When Uxie gazes into the flowing streams of possibility, it plants seeds of psychic energy that will bloom into devastating attacks exactly 2 turns later, regardless of what transpires in the intervening moments. This technique speaks to the nature of knowledge itself, how understanding allows one to see beyond the present moment, to anticipate and prepare for what is to come. The attack arrives with the inevitability of prophecy fulfilled, a reminder that true wisdom lies not just in knowing what is, but in perceiving what will be. In the depths of the ocean, where pressure crushes and darkness reigns eternal, Kyogre slumbers in the abyssal trenches, its massive form stirring the very foundations of the sea. This ancient Leviathan commands Origin Pulse, a move that channels the primordial power of the oceans themselves. When Kyogre unleashes this technique, massive spheres of concentrated water energy erupt from its position, each one containing within it the force of tsunamis and the depth of oceanic trenches. The attack spreads outward in all directions, washing over everything in its path like the tide that acknowledges no boundary between land and sea. Origin Pulse carries within it the memory of when the world was young and covered entirely by water, when Kyogre's domain stretched unbroken across the planet's surface. High above in the endless expanse of sky, Rayquaza coils through the atmosphere with serpentine grace, its emerald scales catching and refracting the light of distant stars. This sky-high Pokémon possesses Dragon Ascent, a technique that embodies both the fury of storms and the majesty of flight itself. When Rayquaza prepares to use Dragon Ascent, it rises higher and higher into the atmosphere until it becomes little more than a distant glimmer against the blue, then plummets earthward with meteoric force, its body wreathed in draconic energy that tears through the air like a falling star. The impact carries with it all the power of the heavens themselves, yet the technique's use leaves Rayquaza momentarily vulnerable, its defenses lowered by the sheer exertion of channeling such overwhelming force. Deep beneath the Earth's crust, where magma flows in rivers of molten stone and the planet's heart beats with geological time, Groudon rests in chambers of crystallized fire. This continent Pokémon commands Precipice Blades, a move that calls forth the very bones of the earth to serve as weapons. When Groudon invokes this ancient power, the ground splits and cracks as massive stone spires erupt from below, each one sharp as a sword and tall as a mountain peak. These earthen blades rise with the slow inevitability of continental drift, yet strike with the sudden violence of an earthquake, reminding all who witness them that the land itself is alive and capable of both creation and destruction. In the space between dimensions, where reality becomes fluid and the laws of physics bend like light through water, Giratina dwells in eternal exile within the Distortion world. This renegade Pokémon has mastered Shadow Force, a technique that allows it to slip between the cracks of existence itself. When Giratina employs Shadow Force, it vanishes completely from the physical plane, becoming incorporeal and untouchable as it travels through the twisted pathways of antimatter. From this otherworldly vantage point, it can observe and plan before suddenly materializing behind its target to deliver a devastating blow that carries with it all the alien power of the reverse world. The attack bypasses conventional defenses through its interdimensional nature, striking from angles that exist only in the spaces between spaces. Palkia, master of spatial dimensions, possesses Spatial Rend, a move that tears holes in the very fabric of three-dimensional reality. When this Pearl Pokémon calls upon its signature technique, it raises its arms and concentrates its power until the air itself begins to crack and splinter like broken glass. These rifts in space expand outward in jagged lines, creating wounds in reality through which the raw chaos of dimensional void spills forth. The attack strikes with such precision that it often finds weak points in an opponent's defenses that shouldn't exist according to normal geometry, exploiting flaws in spatial positioning that only a being who controls space itself could perceive and manipulate. Dialga, sovereign of temporal flow, commands Roar of Time, a technique that weaponizes the very passage of moments themselves. When the Temporal Pokemon unleashes this devastating ability, it releases a sound that transcends mere noise to become something far more fundamental, a vibration that resonates through the timeline itself. The roar carries within it the weight of eons, the accumulated force of every second that has passed since time began, and strikes its target not just in the present moment, but across multiple temporal coordinates simultaneously. However, the strain of manipulating time so directly leaves Dialga momentarily frozen, unable to act as it recovers from the temporal backlash of its own power. These legendary beings and their signature moves represent more than mere combat techniques or displays of power. They are expressions of the fundamental forces that shape existence itself, manifestations of concepts so vast and essential that they can only be wielded by creatures who embody those very principles. Each move tells a story not just of battle, but of the cosmic responsibilities these legendary Pokemon bear, the roles they play in maintaining the delicate balance that allows reality to continue functioning as we know it. As we drift deeper into contemplation of these ancient powers, let your breathing slow and deepen, matching the rhythm of geological time, the patient pulse of creation itself. In the gentle cadence of legendary power, in the whispered secrets of moves that reshape reality with each use, there is a profound peace to be found, a reminder that even in a world of incredible forces and unimaginable power, there exists a harmony that underlies all things, a balance that has persevered since the very beginning of time itself. Giratina, the renegade Pokemon dwelling within the Distortion world, wields Shadow Force, a technique that allows it to vanish completely from the physical plane before striking from the twisted dimensions beyond our perception. When Giratina prepares this ethereal assault, its antimatter form begins to fade and shimmer, becoming translucent as it phases between the world we know and the reverse reality it calls home. The move creates a haunting display as Giratina disappears entirely, leaving only the faintest disturbance in the air, like heat waves rising from summer pavement. From this hidden dimension, it observes its target with eyes that see through the veil of normal space, waiting for the perfect moment to emerge with devastating force. The attack comes without warning, as Giratina materializes directly behind or beside its opponent, striking with the accumulated energy of dimensional displacement before immediately retreating back to its shadowy realm. Arceus, the original one from whom all existence flows, possesses judgment, a move that embodies the very concept of divine verdict. When this alpha Pokemon calls upon its ultimate technique, the golden ring that adorns its body begins to glow with an inner light that seems to contain the essence of every type of energy that exists within the Pokemon world. Beams of pure elemental force descend from above like pillars of colored light, each one carrying the weight of cosmic authority. The type of energy changes based on the plate that Arceus carries, allowing this primordial being to deliver judgment in the form most appropriate to the situation at hand. Whether manifesting as searing fire, crushing earth, flowing water, or any of the other fundamental forces, judgment represents the ultimate expression of Arceus's role as the creator and arbiter of all things. The lunar Pokemon Cresselia drifts through the night sky with Lunar Dance, a move of profound sacrifice and renewal that embodies the moon's eternal cycle of death and rebirth. When Cresselia performs this graceful technique, it begins to spin slowly in place, its crescent-shaped wings then catching and reflecting moonlight until it appears to be made of pure silver radiance. The dance grows more elaborate as Cresselia's life force flows outward in spiraling patterns of gentle light, healing and revitalizing its allies while completely draining itself in the process. The move represents the ultimate act of selflessness, as Cresselia willingly gives up its own ability to continue battling so that another may fight on with renewed strength and spirit. The lunar energy that flows from the sacrifice carries with it the peace and tranquility of moonlit nights, washing over the battlefield like a gentle tide. Darkrai, the pitch-black Pokémon whose very presence brings nightmares, commands Dark Void, a technique that plunges its targets into the deepest realms of sleep and shadow. When Darkrai unleashes this power, darkness begins to seep from its ethereal form like smoke, spreading outward in expanding circles that dim the light and muffle sound. Those caught within this creeping shadow find their eyelids growing heavy as an irresistible drowsiness overtakes them, pulling them down into sleep whether they wish it or not. The darkness that Darkrai creates is not merely an absence of light, but a positive force of shadow, a living thing that wraps around its victims like a blanket woven from the substance of dreams themselves. Within this induced slumber, the affected Pokémon become vulnerable to the nightmares that follow in Darkrai's wake, trapped in visions that blur the line between sleep and waking terror. Shaymin, in its graceful sky form, soars through the heavens with Seed Flare, a technique that channels the explosive power of new life and growth. When this gratitude Pokémon prepares its signature move, flowers begin to bloom along its body as it gathers energy from the natural world around it. The attack manifests as a brilliant green orb of concentrated life force that Shaymin launches toward its target with tremendous speed. Upon impact, the sphere erupts in a dazzling display of light and color as seeds scatter in all directions, each one carrying within it the potential for new growth and the cleansing power of nature itself. The explosion of botanical energy is so intense that it can overwhelm an opponent's special defenses, leaving them vulnerable to the overwhelming force of nature's creative power. The aftermath of Seed Flare often leaves the battlefield dotted with small flowers and sprouting plants, a testament to the life-giving energy that Shaymin carries within its diminutive form. Victini, the victory Pokémon, whose presence brings triumph to those who encounter it, blazes across the battlefield with V-Create, a move that embodies the pure essence of winning and success. When Victini calls upon this fiery technique, its body becomes wreathed in flames that burn with the intensity of a star, each flicker containing the concentrated energy of countless victories. The small Pokémon launches itself forward like a living comet, leaving a trail of fire in its wake as it strikes its opponent with overwhelming force. The flames that surround Victini during this attack are not ordinary fire, but something far more fundamental, a manifestation of the victory energy that this legendary being generates simply by existing. However, the incredible power of V-Create comes at a cost, as the technique burns so intensely that it temporarily weakens Victini's own defenses, leaving it more vulnerable even as it delivers devastating damage to its foe. Reshiram, the vast white Pokémon who embodies the concept of truth, commands Blue Flare, a technique that burns with flames of absolute purity and honesty. When Reshiram prepares this devastating attack, the turban-like tail that generates its power begins to spin faster and faster, creating a deep humming sound that resonates through the air. Blue flames begin to emerge from Reshiram's mouth and wings, flames that burn hotter than any normal fire because they are fueled not by mere combustion, but by the power of truth itself. These azure fires can burn through lies and deception as easily as they consume physical matter, making them particularly effective against opponents who rely on illusion or misdirection. The blue flare expands as it travels, becoming a wall of sapphire fire that engulfs everything in its path with temperatures that can melt steel and stone alike. Zekrom, the deep black Pokémon whose power represents ideals and the future, unleashes Bolt Strike, a technique that harnesses the raw power of lightning and electric force. When Zekrom calls upon this mighty attack, electricity begins to crackle around its body as the generator within its tail spins up to maximum output. The legendary dragon launches itself forward with incredible speed, its entire form becoming wreathed in brilliant white lightning that illuminates the battlefield like a miniature thunderstorm. Bolt Strike represents more than mere electrical energy. It embodies the force of change, the power to transform the world according to one's ideals and vision of the future. The lightning that surrounds Zekrom during this attack carries within it the accumulated potential of all possible tomorrows, striking with such force that it can shatter the strongest defenses and leave opponents paralyzed by the overwhelming power of pure electrical energy. Kyurem, the boundary Pokemon whose icy power represents the void between truth and ideals, commands Glaciate, a technique that embodies the concept of absolute zero and the cessation of all motion. When Kyurem prepares this chilling attack, the temperature around it begins to drop precipitously as ice crystals form in the air. The legendary dragon breathes forth a wave of supercooled air that freezes everything it touches, not merely covering surfaces with ice, but actually slowing the molecular motion of matter itself. Glaciate affects multiple opponents simultaneously, spreading its freezing influence across the entire battlefield like an arctic wind that brings with it the cold emptiness of space itself. Those caught within this frigid assault find their movements becoming sluggish and labored as the intense cold saps their energy and slows their reflexes, leaving them vulnerable to follow-up attacks while they struggle against the numbing embrace of Kyurem's icy power. The legendary forces of nature, known as the Forces of Nature Trio, each possess signature techniques that reflect their dominion over the fundamental elements that shape our world. Tornadus, the cyclone Pokemon whose green-hued form dances through storm clouds with graceful fury, commands Hurricane, a devastating wind-based assault that calls forth the raw power of tempests and tornadoes. When Tornadus begins to summon this mighty gale, the air around it starts to swirl and churn as atmospheric pressure drops dramatically. The legendary Pokemon spreads its arms wide, and winds begin to spiral outward from its body, growing stronger and more violent with each passing moment. These are not ordinary winds, but supernatural currents infused with the primal energy of storms themselves, capable of lifting massive objects and hurling them through the air with tremendous force. Hurricane creates a vortex of destruction that can level forests and reshape landscapes, while the chaotic nature of the swirling winds makes it nearly impossible for opponents to maintain their footing or launch accurate counterattacks. The howling gale carries with it the fury of every storm that has ever raged across the skies, and those caught within its embrace find themselves battered by debris and buffeted by winds that seem to blow from all directions at once. Thundurus, the Bolt Strike Pokemon, whose blue and white form crackles with electrical energy, unleashes thunder, a technique that calls down lightning from the heavens with pinpoint accuracy and devastating power. When Thundurus prepares this electrifying assault, storm clouds begin to gather overhead as the legendary Pokemon raises its arms toward the sky. The air becomes charged with static electricity, causing hair to stand on end and metal objects to spark and hum with accumulated energy. Thunder represents the raw, untamed power of lightning in its purest form, channeled through Thundurus's mastery over electrical phenomena. The attack manifests as a massive bolt of lightning that tears through the atmosphere with a deafening crack, striking its target with such incredible force that it can split mountains and vaporize bodies of water. The electrical discharge is so intense that it temporarily blinds observers and leaves the air smelling of ozone and burnt matter, while the target finds itself overwhelmed by millions of volts of pure electrical energy coursing through every fiber of its being. Landorus, the abundance Pokemon whose orange and brown coloration reflects its connection to the Earth itself, commands Earth Power, a ground-based technique that harnesses the geological forces lying dormant beneath the surface of the planet. When Landorus calls upon this mighty attack, it places its hands upon the ground and channels its energy deep into the earth below. The legendary Pokemon's power travels through soil and stone, following underground currents and geological fault lines until it reaches the precise location where it wishes to strike. Earth power manifests as a sudden eruption of energy that bursts forth from beneath the target's feet, creating a geyser of earth, stone, and raw geological force that can shatter bedrock and create new landforms in an instant. The attack draws upon the accumulated power of tectonic plates and underground magma flows, unleashing forces that have been building for millennia in a single, devastating moment. Those caught within this terrestrial assault find themselves lifted into the air by the sheer force of the Earth's rebellion, while the ground beneath them cracks and shifts as if the planet itself has turned against them. The legendary Lake Guardians, those mystical beings who dwell in the depths of Sinnoh's most sacred waters, each possess psychic abilities that manifest as unique signature moves reflecting their dominion over different aspects of consciousness and mental power. Uxie, the knowledge Pokemon whose closed eyes contain wisdom beyond mortal comprehension, was granted no unique signature move in the traditional sense, yet its very presence emanates an aura that can erase memories and bestow forgotten knowledge upon those deemed worthy of such gifts. The legendary Pokemon's power over memory and learning influences the battlefield in subtle but profound ways, as opponents find their strategies becoming confused and their recollections of previous encounters growing hazy and uncertain. Mesprit, the emotion Pokemon, whose pink form embodies the full spectrum of feelings and emotional experiences, similarly lacks a traditional signature move, but possesses an innate ability to manipulate the emotional states of those around it. The legendary Pokemon can amplify feelings of joy and courage in allies while instilling fear and despair in enemies, creating psychological effects that prove just as devastating as any physical attack. Mesprit's influence over emotion extends beyond simple manipulation, as it can actually alter the fundamental emotional resonance of an area, making locations feel inherently peaceful or threatening based on its presence and intentions. Azelf, the Willpower Pokémon, whose blue form represents the indomitable strength of determination and resolve, also operates without a unique signature technique, yet commands respect through its ability to influence motivation and mental fortitude. The legendary Pokémon can strengthen the willpower of allies, while sapping the determination of opponents, creating shifts in mental state that can turn the tide of battle without a single physical blow being struck. Azelf's power over will and determination affects not just individual Pokemon, but entire regions, as its presence can inspire great works of construction and creation, or conversely, lead to periods of stagnation and despair. Moving into the Kalos region, we encounter Xerneas, the life Pokemon, whose majestic antlers shimmer with the colors of the rainbow, and whose very existence represents the creative force that brings new life into the world. This fairy-type legendary commands geomancy, a technique that channels the life-giving energy of the earth itself to dramatically enhance its own abilities and power. When Xerneas begins to perform geomancy, its antlers begin to glow with an intense, multicolored light that seems to contain within it the essence of every flower that has ever bloomed and every tree that has ever grown. The legendary Pokemon raises its head toward the sky as energy begins to flow up from the ground beneath its feet, drawn from the network of roots, underground streams, and geological formations that connect all living things across the planet. This preparation phase requires time and concentration, as the Xerneas must carefully gather and focus the dispersed life energy from across vast distances, condensing it into a form that can be absorbed and utilized. Once this process is complete, the accumulated energy floods into Xerneas' body, dramatically increasing its special attack power, special defense, and speed as the life force of the earth itself becomes part of its being. The transformation is visible as a radiant aura that surrounds the legendary Pokemon, making it appear as though it has become a living embodiment of nature's creative potential. Yveltal, the destruction Pokemon whose dark wings spread like shadows across the sky, and whose red markings pulse with ominous energy, wields Oblivion Wing, a technique that embodies the inevitable cycle of death and decay that balances the creative forces of life. When Yveltal prepares this devastating attack, its massive wings spread wide as dark energy begins to gather around its form like a shroud of shadows. The legendary Pokemon's eyes glow with a malevolent red light as it channels the destructive force that lies at the heart of all endings and conclusions. Oblivion Wing manifests as a wave of dark energy that streams forth from Yveltal's wings, taking the form of countless shadowy tendrils that seek out and drain the life force from everything they touch. This attack does not simply cause damage through physical force, but actually absorbs the vital energy of its targets, weakening them while simultaneously healing Yveltal's own injuries and restoring its strength. The dark energy that comprises Oblivion Wing carries within it the essence of entropy itself, accelerating the natural processes of decay and dissolution while feeding the absorbed life force back to its wielder in a twisted parody of the natural cycle of death and rebirth. The legendary Pokemon Zygarde, guardian of ecological balance and protector of the natural order, commands multiple forms of expression through its signature abilities, each reflecting different aspects of its role as the world's environmental overseer. In its complete form, achieved when the crisis facing the ecosystem becomes so severe that intervention becomes necessary, Zygarde unleashes Core Enforcer, a technique that represents the ultimate expression of regulatory power over the natural world. When this attack begins, the Dragon-type Legendary's multiple eyes begin to glow with an intense green light as energy courses through the hexagonal patterns that cover its serpentine body. The attack manifests as a concentrated beam of pure regulatory force, a lance of green energy that cuts through the air with surgical precision toward its target. What makes Core Enforcer truly remarkable is not simply its devastating power, but its ability to neutralize and suppress the special abilities of those it strikes, representing Zygarde's role as the enforcer of natural law and the maintainer of ecological equilibrium. The energy beam carries within it the authority of the earth itself, temporarily severing the connection between opposing Pokémon and their inherent abilities, as a means of restoring balance to situations that have grown too chaotic or destructive. This suppression reflects the way that nature itself sometimes must impose limitations and boundaries to prevent any single element from overwhelming the delicate balance that sustains all life. The psychic-type legendary Pokemon Lunala, whose ethereal form seems to exist partially in the shadow realm that lies between dimensions, commands Moongeist Beam, an attack that draws its power from the mysterious forces that govern the boundary between the world of the living and the realm of spirits. When Lunala prepares this otherworldly technique, its translucent wings spread wide as pale, ghostly light begins to gather around its crescent-shaped body. The legendary Pokemon's form becomes even more ethereal as it channels energy from the space between worlds, drawing upon forces that exist in the liminal realm where moonlight meets shadow and reality blurs into dream. Moongeist Beam manifests as a concentrated ray of spectral energy that appears to be composed of crystallized moonlight infused with the essence of the spirit world. This beam possesses the remarkable ability to ignore defensive barriers and protective abilities, passing through shields and immunities as though they were mere illusions. The attack represents the inexorable nature of lunar influence and spiritual energy, forces that cannot be blocked or deflected by conventional means because they operate according to laws that transcend the physical realm. As the beam travels toward its target, it seems to phase in and out of visibility, sometimes appearing as solid light and other times as nothing more than a ghostly shimmer in the air. Solgaleo, the radiant sun legendary, whose golden mane blazes with the intensity of a stellar furnace, wields Sunsteel Strike, a technique that embodies the overwhelming power and unstoppable force of solar energy concentrated into physical form. When the Steel-type legendary prepares its signature attack, its metallic body begins to glow with intense heat as solar energy courses through its form like liquid fire. The lion-like Pokemon's mane flares outward as it gathers momentum, its entire being becoming suffused with the raw power of stellar fusion. Sunsteel Strike manifests as a devastating charge attack where Solgaleo launches itself forward with the force and intensity of a solar flare, made manifest in physical form. The legendary Pokemon becomes surrounded by a blazing aura of golden energy as it hurtles toward its target, its steel-type body heated to temperatures that cause the very air around it to shimmer and distort. Like its lunar counterpart's Moongeist beam, Sunsteel Strike possesses the ability to pierce through defensive barriers and ignore protective abilities, representing the way that solar energy penetrates all things and cannot be truly blocked or contained. The attack embodies the fundamental force of the sun itself, an energy so pure and intense that it transcends conventional limitations and strikes with the authority of the star that gives life to all worlds. The mysterious Ultra Necrozma, a being of pure light that exists as the true form of the Prism Pokemon when it has absorbed sufficient radiance, commands light that burns the sky, perhaps the most aptly named signature move in existence. This psychic type technique represents the ultimate expression of photonic energy, light concentrated and weaponized to such an incredible degree that it becomes a force of destruction rather than illumination. When Ultra Necrozma prepares this devastating attack, its crystalline body begins to pulse with blinding radiance as it draws upon every source of light within its vicinity. The legendary Pokemon's form becomes so intensely luminous that looking directly at it becomes impossible, as though a miniature star has suddenly appeared on the battlefield. Light that burns the sky manifests as an overwhelming explosion of pure photonic energy that erupts from Ultra Necrozma's core, expanding outward in all directions, so like a supernova contained within the confines of battle. The light that comprises this attack is so intense that it seems to burn away shadows and darkness not through heat, but through the sheer overwhelming presence of illumination. This technique ignores the target's ability entirely, representing the way that absolute light cannot be diminished or deflected by any force, burning through all obstacles with the relentless intensity of stellar fire. Moving into the 8th generation, we encounter Eternatus, the gigantic legendary whose alien form speaks to origins beyond the world itself, wielding Dynamax Cannon, a technique that harnesses the same mysterious energy that allows Pokemon to grow to enormous size. When this poison and dragon-type legendary prepares its signature attack, the core at its center begins to glow with an ominous purple light as Dynamax energy begins to accumulate within its skeletal frame. The legendary Pokemon's body extends and elongates as energy courses through its form, creating an almost mechanical precision in its movements as it charges this devastating technique. Dynamax Cannon manifests as a concentrated beam of pure Dynamax energy, the same force that can transform ordinary Pokemon into towering giants, but here weaponized into a lance of destructive power. The attack is particularly effective against Dynamaxed opponents, as though the energy recognizes and specifically targets the artificial gigantification process. The beam carries within it the alien essence of Eternatus itself, energy that seems to come from beyond the natural world and operates according to principles that transcend normal understanding of Pokemon abilities. Calyrex, the regal psychic and grass-type legendary, whose ancient wisdom spans countless generations, commands Astral Barrage, a technique that draws upon the cosmic forces that flow between the physical and spiritual realms. When mounted upon its spectral steed, Spectrier, Calyrex channels this attack through the combined power of royal authority and ghostly energy. The legendary Pokemon's crown begins to glow with ethereal light as it raises its arms, calling upon forces that exist in the space between thoughts and dreams. Astral Barrage manifests us as multiple projectiles of concentrated psychic and ghostly energy that rain down upon all opposing Pokemon simultaneously, each one guided by the ancient king's will and infused with the otherworldly power of the spirit realm. The attack represents the way that royal decree, when backed by sufficient mystical authority, can affect multiple subjects at once, bringing the weight of cosmic law to bear against those who would oppose the natural order. When Calyrex instead rides upon Glastrier, its ice-type steed, the combination gives rise to Glacial Lance, a technique that embodies the piercing cold of absolute zero concentrated into physical form. The legendary king's psychic powers merge with the primordial ice energy of its mount, creating an attack that manifests as multiple spears of crystalline ice that form in the air around Calyrex before launching forward with devastating precision. Each lance carries within it not merely the cold of winter, but the deeper chill of cosmic space itself, ice so pure and cold that it seems to freeze not just the body, but the very concept of warmth itself. Those frozen projectiles pierce through the battlefield with the same inevitability as the changing of seasons, each one guided by the ancient wisdom of a ruler who has witnessed the rise and fall of countless civilizations. The ice formed by Glacial Lance possesses a crystalline perfection that reflects the ordered nature of Calyrex's reign, each facet catching and refracting light in patterns that seem to encode the mathematical principles underlying the natural world. Moving beyond the Galar region into the tropical paradise of Paldea, we encounter legendary Pokémon whose signature moves reflect the diverse ecosystems and ancient mysteries of this sun-drenched land. Koraidon, the legendary whose very name speaks to ancient times and primal power, wields collision course with the raw intensity of prehistory itself. This fighting-type technique embodies the concept of unstoppable momentum meeting immovable force, channeling the legendary Pokemon's connection to a time when the world was younger and conflicts were settled through pure physical dominance. When Koraidon prepares to unleash collision course, its entire body begins to glow with an amber radiance reminiscent of ancient sunlight trapped in fossilized resin. The legendary Pokemon's muscles tense and expand as primal energy courses through its form, its throat beginning to emit a low, resonant growl that seems to echo from the depths of geological time. The attack manifests as Koraidon launching itself forward with tremendous velocity, its body becoming a living projectile that carries within it the accumulated force of tectonic movements and continental drift. The technique is particularly devastating when used against Pokémon that resist fighting-type moves, as though the primal energy refuses to be denied and breaks through defensive barriers through sheer prehistoric determination. Miraidon, Koraidon's counterpart from a possible future timeline, commands Electro drift with the precision and efficiency of advanced technology. This electric-type signature move represents the pinnacle of electrical manipulation, channeling energy not through natural biological processes, but through technological enhancement and cybernetic precision. When Miraidon prepares Electro drift, panels along its sleek form begin to glow with electric blue light as internal systems activate and energy begins to accumulate within specialized storage organs that blur the line between biological tissue and mechanical components. The legendary Pokemon's movements become fluid and controlled, each gesture calculated for maximum efficiency as it positions itself for the attack. Electro Drift manifests as Miraidon surrounding itself with electrical energy before launching forward in a controlled glide, its body becoming a conduit for precisely directed electromagnetic force. Like its ancient counterparts technique, Electro Drift proves especially effective against Pokemon that would normally resist electric attacks, as though the advanced technology can analyze and overcome defensive adaptations through superior engineering and tactical analysis. The Path of Legends in Paldea introduces us to the Titan Pokemon, whose enhanced forms represent the way that ancient power can manifest when concentrated and amplified beyond normal limits. These encounters reveal how signature moves can evolve and intensify when legendary Pokemon achieve states of heightened power, their techniques becoming more devastating and more deeply connected to their essential nature. The phenomenon suggests that signature moves are not static abilities, but living expressions of a Pokemon's inner power that can grow and develop alongside their wielder's spiritual and physical evolution. Deep within the crystalline caverns beneath Paldea lies Terrapagos, the tiny turtle whose unassuming appearance belies its connection to the fundamental forces that govern type energy throughout the Pokemon world. This legendary Pokemon's signature move, Terra Starstorm, represents perhaps the most profound manipulation of type energy ever witnessed, channeling the same forces that allow terrestrialization while weaponizing them into a technique of extraordinary scope and power. When Terrapagos prepares to unleash Terra Starstorm, its crystalline shell begins to resonate with harmonic frequencies that seem to attune themselves to the very fabric of reality. The legendary Pokemon's small form becomes a focal point for energies that exist at the intersection of all 18 known Pokemon types, its shell acting as a prism that can separate and recombine these fundamental forces according to its will. The attack manifests as multiple crystalline projectiles that rain down from above, each one infused with pure type energy that shifts and changes according to the needs of the moment. These stellar fragments carry within them the same transformative power that enables terrestrialization, but concentrated and directed with devastating precision. Each projectile seems to exist in a state of quantum superposition, simultaneously embodying all possible type energies until the moment of impact, when they collapse into the specific type that will prove most effective against their target. The technique represents the ultimate expression of type mastery, suggesting that at the deepest level, all type energies are merely different expressions of a single underlying force that Terrapagos alone fully comprehends. When Terrapagos assumes its stellar form, Terra Starstorm undergoes a remarkable transformation, becoming capable of targeting all opposing Pokemon simultaneously while maintaining its devastating single-target effectiveness. In this enhanced state, the legendary Pokemon's shell expands into a crystalline array that resembles a miniature galaxy, each facet representing a different aspect of type energy and their infinite possible combinations. The attack becomes a cascade of stellar energy that washes over the entire battlefield, each opponent receiving precisely the type of assault that will prove most effective against their specific defensive capabilities. the legendary Pokémon of the distant Hisui region, that ancient incarnation of what would eventually become Sinnoh, possessed signature moves that reflected their deep connection to the primordial forces that shaped the world in its earliest epochs. Hisuian forms of legendary Pokemon demonstrate how signature techniques can evolve and adapt across vast spans of time, their essential nature remaining constant while their expression changes to suit different environmental conditions and spiritual climates. These ancient variants reveal that signature moves are not merely attacks, but expressions of a Pokemon's relationship with the fundamental forces of creation, techniques that can be refined and perfected across generations while never losing their connection to the original inspiration that gave them birth. The study of legendary signature moves reveals patterns that extend far beyond simple combat applications, suggesting a deeper organizational principle that governs how power manifests in the Pokemon world. Each technique represents not merely an attack, but a philosophy, a way of understanding and interacting with the fundamental forces that shape reality. The signature moves of legendary Pokemon serve as windows into their essential nature, revealing the deep truths about balance, transformation, and the eternal dance between opposing forces that gives meaning and structure to the natural world. As we contemplate these magnificent expressions of legendary power, we begin to understand that signature moves represent more than mere combat techniques. They are manifestations of the deepest truths about existence itself, expressions of the way that consciousness can shape and direct the fundamental forces of reality through will, wisdom, and perfect understanding. Each legendary Pokemon's signature move tells a story about the nature of power itself, revealing how true strength comes not from raw force alone, but from the harmony between intention and ability, between the desire to act and the wisdom to act correctly. In the gentle rhythm of these explanations, we find ourselves drawn into the peaceful contemplation of forces far greater than ourselves, legendary powers that remind us of the wonder and mystery that still exist in the world, waiting to be discovered by those with eyes to see and hearts to understand. The signature move of Zekrom, Bolt Strike, is a devastating physical electric type attack that embodies the legendary Pokemon's embodiment of ideals and its dominion over electricity. When Zekrom unleashes Bolt Strike, its entire body becomes engorged with crackling, volatile electrical energy, a deep blue glow emanating from its turban-like tail. It then charges forward with incredible momentum, its body becoming a living lightning bolt, crashing into its target with immense force. The impact is not merely physical, it delivers a shockwave of pure electrical power that can paralyze even the most resilient opponents. This move is a testament to Zekrom's raw, unbridled power, a direct and forceful expression of its electrical essence. It speaks to the idea that true ideals, when pursued with conviction, can generate immense, undeniable power. Reshiram, as the legendary embodiment of truth, showcases its power through the signature move Blue Flare. This special fire-type attack sees Reshiram generating an intensely hot, azure flame from its tail, which it then projects as a concentrated blast of incandescent energy. Unlike typical red or orange flames, Blue Flare burns with an almost ethereal purity, a brilliant blue that signifies its extreme temperature and destructive potential. This flame is not merely fire, it is the essence of truth made manifest, burning away falsehoods and illusions with its unyielding heat. The visual spectacle of Blue Flare is one of controlled intensity, a calm but utterly destructive force, mirroring Reshiram's serene yet powerful nature. It suggests that truth, while often gentle, can also be an incredibly potent and transformative force, capable of consuming that which opposes it. Kyurem, the legendary boundary Pokémon, possesses two signature moves depending on its fused form. When unfused, its move, Glaciate, is a special ice-type attack where Kyurem exhales a chilling blast of absolute zero temperature, encasing its opponents in a rapidly forming sheath of ice. This icy breath is so cold that it not only inflicts damage but also significantly slows down the target, freezing their movements and reactions. Glaciate is a reflection of Kyurem's empty, vacant nature, its ability to strip away warmth and movement, leaving only cold, still emptiness. It is a raw, primordial expression of ice, a force of nature untamed and unyielding. The visual is stark, a sudden, blinding white mist that expands and then solidifies, leaving its victims helpless. When fused with Zekrom, Kyurem becomes Black Kyurem, and its signature move transforms into Freeze Shock. This powerful physical ice-type attack combines the raw cold of Kyurem with the electrical might of Zekrom. Black Kyurem first gathers immense electrical energy, visible as blue sparks arcing across its body, before channeling this power into a supercooled projectile of ice. The attack is a two-step process, a charge of overwhelming electrical force, followed by a direct impact of freezing energy. Freeze Shock is a testament to the destructive potential of unbalanced power, a fusion of two contrasting elements that results in an even more formidable attack. It represents the idea that when ideals and emptiness combine without harmony, the result can be a chaotic and overwhelming force. Conversely, when fused with Reshiram, Kyurem becomes White Kyurem, and its signature move becomes Ice Burn. This special ice-type attack melds the freezing power of Kyurem with the scorching heat of Reshiram. White Kyurem channels intensely hot flames and freezing air simultaneously, creating a paradoxical blast of superheated ice. The attack manifests as a brilliant, shimmering cascade of ice shards that burn with an inner heat, capable of inflicting both freezing and burning sensations. Ice Burn is a nuanced expression of power, a controlled fusion of opposites that creates something entirely unique and devastating. It speaks to the complexity of truth when combined with the void, creating an attack that is both beautiful and terrifying, a testament to the strange and wonderful outcomes that arise when fundamental forces interact. The legendary Pokémon of the Kalos region introduced signature moves that often reflected themes of life, death, and balance. Xerneas, the life Pokémon, wields the signature move Geomancy, a special fairy-type status move. When Xerneas uses Geomancy, it roots itself to the earth, drawing forth vibrant, glowing energy from the ground. This energy manifests as swirling, multicolored light that envelops Xerneas, significantly boosting its special attack, special defense, and speed. Geomancy is not an offensive attack in the traditional sense, but rather a profound act of drawing power from the very essence of life within the planet. It is a majestic, slow-building display of power, a gentle but firm communion with nature that prepares Xerneas for battle. The visual is serene, a kaleidoscope of soft light that speaks to the rejuvenating and strengthening properties of life itself. Yveltal, the destruction Pokémon, counters Xerneas' life-giving power with its signature move, Oblivion Wing. This special dark flying type attack sees Ovaltal unfurl its massive dark wings, which then glow with a sinister crimson energy. It then releases a powerful dark energy beam or wave that drains the life force from its opponent, absorbing a portion of the damage inflicted to restore Eviltal's own health. Oblivion Wing is a direct expression of Eviltal's role as a harbinger of destruction and a drainer of life. The visual is often depicted as a sweeping, shadowy attack with tendrils of dark energy reaching out to consume its target. It is a stark reminder that destruction, while terrifying, is also a part of the natural cycle, a necessary counterbalance to creation, and can even sustain the destroyer. Zygarde, the Order Pokémon, has a complex relationship with signature moves, reflecting its variable forms. In its 50% form, Zygarde's signature move is Land's Wrath, a physical ground-type attack. Zygarde slams its tail into the ground, causing massive fissures to appear and release powerful geysers of earth and energy that erupt beneath its opponents. This move is a direct display of Zygarde's immense physical power and its connection to the earth itself, representing its role in maintaining the natural order. Land's Wrath is a forceful, unyielding attack, a literal shaking of the foundations, symbolizing Zygarde's determination to bring balance to the world. However, when Zygarde transforms into its complete form, its signature move becomes the even more devastating Core Enforcer, a special dragon-type attack. In this form, Zygarde unleashes a powerful beam of green energy from its chest, described as a laser that completely obliterates the opponent's abilities. Core Enforcer has the unique effect of negating the abilities of any Pokémon it defeats. This move is the ultimate expression of Zygarde's authority over the ecosystem, a final judgment that removes any disruptive influence. The visual is of a focused, intense beam of green light, a manifestation of pure, unadulterated order eradicating chaos. It is a powerful statement that when order is fully realized, it can reshape the very essence of existence. The legendary Pokémon of the Alola region introduced signature moves that often showcased a deep connection to their island environments and cosmic origins, reflecting the unique ecosystems and cultural beliefs of the region. Solgaleo, the Sune Pokémon, uses Sunsteel Strike, a physical steel-type attack. Solgaleo's body glows intensely as it charges forward, becoming a meteorite of pure solar energy. It crashes into its target with immense force, ignoring any abilities that might reduce its damage. Sunsteel Strike is a brilliant, blazing display of power, an embodiment of the sun's unstoppable energy and its ability to pierce through any obstacle. The visual is often depicted as Solgaleo transforming into a glowing disk, reminiscent of a celestial body before impact. It is a testament to the unyielding power of the sun and its life-giving, yet also intensely destructive, potential. Lunala, the Moon Pokémon, counters Solgaleo's solar power with its signature move, Moongeist Beam, a special ghost-type attack. Lunala unleashes a devastating beam of pale, ethereal energy from its wings, similar to Sunsteel Strike, in that it also ignores the target's abilities. Moongeist Beam is a chillingly beautiful attack, a manifestation of the moon's mysterious and potent energy. The visual is one of serene power, a ghostly white or light blue beam that carries an otherworldly chill, reflecting Lunala's connection to the night sky and the spirit world. It speaks to the idea that even in darkness, there's immense power, a quiet strength that can bypass conventional defenses. Necrozma, the Prism Pokémon, has a complex array of signature moves depending on its form and whether it has absorbed Solgaleo or Lunala. In its base form, Necrozma's signature move is Prismatic Laser, a special psychic type attack. Necrozma gathers light energy from its crystalline body, condensing it into a brilliant, multicolored laser beam that it fires at its opponent. This attack is incredibly powerful, but requires Necrozma to recharge on the subsequent turn, reflecting its need to absorb light to sustain itself. Prismatic Laser is a spectacular display of light manipulation, a focused burst of pure psychic energy that showcases Necrozma's mastery over light. The visual is a stunning spectrum of colors, converging into a single, devastating beam. When Necrozma fuses with Solgaleo to become Duskmane Necrozma, its signature move evolves into Photon Geyser, a special psychic type attack. This move sees Duskmane Necrozma unleashing a pillar of light that erupts from the ground or from its own body, engulfing the opponent. Photon Geyser's unique property is that it becomes either a physical or special attack depending on which of Necrozma's offensive stats is higher, showcasing its adaptable and overwhelming power. The visual is often a blinding flash of light, a geyser of pure energy that reflects the combined power of Necrozma and Solgaleo, a sun-like burst of psychic force. Similarly, when Necrozma fuses with Lunala to become Dawnwing's Necrozma, its signature move also becomes Photon Geyser. In this form, the attack retains its adaptability, but the visual takes on a more ethereal, lunar quality, perhaps a pillar of shimmering pale light. This shared signature move, adapted to its fused form, speaks to Necrozma's fundamental ability to harness and redirect immense power, regardless of its source, and its ultimate goal of absorbing light to become Ultra Necrozma. As Ultra Necrozma, the ultimate form, it gains the signature Zid move, Light that Burns the Sky, a devastating special psychic type attack. This Z move is performed by Ultra Necrozma after using Photon Geyser, transforming it into an even more spectacular and destructive display. Ultra Necrozma gathers all the light energy from its being, becoming a blinding star-like entity before unleashing an overwhelming, all-consuming beam of pure light that seems to rip through the very fabric of reality. Light that burns the sky is the pinnacle of Necrozma's power, a cataclysmic expression of his desire to reclaim all light. The visual is of an entire landscape being bathed in brilliant, destructive light, a stark reminder of the immense power that lies within stellar phenomena. The legendary Pokémon of the Galar region brought forth signature moves that emphasized themes of heroism, legend, and the foundational elements of the land. Zacian, the warrior Pokémon, in its crowned sword form, wields the signature move Behemoth Blade, a physical steel-type attack. Zacian channels immense power into its sword, which then glows with a brilliant, steely sheen. It then cleaves its opponent with a single, incredibly powerful slash. Behemoth Blade's unique property is that its power doubles if the target is a Dynamaxed or Gigantamaxed Pokémon, making it exceptionally effective against these formidable foes. This move embodies Zacian's heroic spirit and its role in defending Galar from crises, a legendary blade capable of cutting down even the mightiest threats. The visual is one of swift, decisive power, a legendary sword striking with undeniable force. Zamazenta, the warrior Pokémon, in its crowned shield form, utilizes the signature move Behemoth Bash, a physical steel-type attack. Zamazenta charges forward, its shield glowing with an impenetrable steely aura. It then slams into its opponent with overwhelming force, much like Zacian's attack. Behemoth Bash also doubles in power against Dynamaxed or Gigantamaxed Pokémon. This move reflects Zamazenta's defensive prowess and its role as a sturdy protector of the land. The visual is one of unstoppable momentum and unyielding defense, a living fortress crashing down upon its foes. Both Behemoth Blade and Behemoth Bash signify the twin aspects of heroism, offense and defense, working in tandem to protect the natural order. Eternatus, the gigantic Pokémon and the source of the Dynamax phenomenon, possesses the signature move Eternabeam, a special dragon-type attack. Eternatus, in its colossal form, gathers immense cosmic energy, channeling it into a devastating beam of pure power that it fires from its chest. This attack is incredibly destructive, but like Prismatic Laser, requires Eternatus to recharge on the subsequent turn. Eternabeam is a visual spectacle of cosmic power, a purple-hued beam that speaks to Eternatus's extraterrestrial origins and its connection to the very fabric of space and time that governs the Dynamax phenomenon. It is a raw, untamed force, a glimpse into the vast and potentially destructive energies of the cosmos. The legendary Pokémon of the Paldea region introduced signature moves that often reflected modern themes of technology, ancient mysteries, and the paradoxes of time. Koraidon, the Winged King, a paradox Pokémon from the ancient past, uses the signature move Collision Course, a physical fighting-type attack. Koraidon charges forward with incredible speed and power, its powerful legs and reptilian body glowing with primal energy, before delivering a devastating impact. This move is a testament to Koraidon's raw, untamed strength and its connection to the ancient wild aspects of the land. The visual is of a powerful, direct assault, a collision of ancient power with its opponent, reflecting its role as a master of the past. Miraidon, the Iron Serpent, a paradox Pokémon from the distant future, counters Koraidon with its signature move, Electro Drift, a special electric-type attack. Miraidon generates immense electrical energy, its futuristic body glowing with an intense blue light before unleashing a concentrated blast of electricity. This move is a display of Miraidon's technological prowess and its command over advanced energy systems, representing its connection to the sleek, efficient power of the future. The visual is of a precise, high-energy beam of electricity, a powerful testament to the advancements of tomorrow. Both Collision Course and Electro Drift reflect the core paradox of their existence, representing the raw power of the past and the refined strength of the future, each a distinct expression of their own time. The legendary quartet known as the Treasures of Ruin also each possess a signature move that embodies their cursed nature and the specific treasure they represent. Wo-Chien, the Ruinous Tablet, has the signature move Ruination, a dark-type special attack. Wo-Chien slams its leafy body into the ground, causing shadowy dark energy to erupt around the opponent, which always reduces the target's HP by half, regardless of their defenses. This move represents the slow, inevitable decay and corruption associated with its cursed tablet, a gradual but undeniable erosion of strength. The visual is one of creeping shadows and wilting energy, a representation of the ruin it brings. Chen Pao, the Ruinous Sword, brandishes its signature move, Sword of Ruin, a dark-type physical attack. Qian Pao forms a blade of intense dark energy from its fangs, and then slashes at its opponent with blinding speed. This attack is a direct, sharp strike that carries the chill of its cursed sword, reflecting its ability to cut through defenses with precision and malevolence. The visual is a swift, dark flash, a sudden and devastating strike that embodies the danger of its corrupted blade. Ting Lu, the ruinous vessel, employs the signature move Ruin, a dark-type physical attack. Ting Lu charges forward, its immense, heavy body glowing with dark energy, then smashes into its opponent with overwhelming force, much like a powerful ancient vessel breaking through obstacles. This move represents the crushing weight and destructive force of its cursed vessel, a heavy, unavoidable impact that signifies its ability to bring down mighty structures. The visual is one of immense, slow-building power, culminating in a devastating impact that shakes the very ground. Finally, Chi-Yu, the ruinous beads, unleashes the signature move, Blazing Ruin, a dark-type special attack. Chi-Yu projects searing, dark flames from its eyes, engulfing the opponent in a torrent of malevolent fire. This attack embodies the destructive, consuming heat of its cursed beads, a fiery ruin that burns away all in its path. The visual is one of intense, dark flames, shimmering with an oppressive heat, a testament to the destructive potential of its cursed treasure. The four treasures of ruin, with their unique signature moves, tell a collective story of ancient curses and the destructive power of corrupted artifacts, each move a distinct expression of their dark influence. The overarching narrative woven through the signature moves of legendary Pokémon is one of profound connection to the fundamental forces of the universe. From the primordial chaos embodied by Dialga and Palkia, to the life and death cycles represented by Xerneas and Yveltal, and the cosmic energies harnessed by Solgaleo and Lunala, each legendary Pokémon's unique attack is a window into its very essence. These moves are not merely powerful techniques, they are expressions of identity, purpose, and the deep, often mystical relationship between these extraordinary beings and the world they inhabit. The gentle contemplation of these majestic abilities allows us to appreciate the intricate design of the Pokémon world, where power is often a reflection of intrinsic nature and cosmic role. Each explanation, delivered in a whispered cadence, seeks to lull the mind into a state of serene awareness, a peaceful exploration of lore that gradually unwinds the day's tensions. As the vastness of these legendary powers unfolds, a sense of tranquility settles, much like the quiet descent of night. The stories held within these signature moves are whispers of ancient tales and cosmic truths, each one a thread in the rich tapestry of the Pokémon universe, gently guiding the listener towards a restful and profound slumber. A journey into dreams filled with the echoes of legendary might and tranquil knowing. The very air seems to hum with the soft resonance of these deep powers, calming and soothing as the mind drifts into sleep, carried by the gentle flow of knowledge and wonder. As we continue our gentle journey through the legendary landscape, we arrive at the majestic realm of Generation 9, a region teeming with new mysteries and ancient legends. Among these powerful beings, we encounter Koraidon and Miraidon, the Paradox Pokémon, each embodying a distinct temporal essence and wielding a signature move that speaks to their unique place in the fabric of time. Koraidon, the Winged King, a creature from the ancient past, unleashes the devastating collision known as Collision Course, a fighting-type physical attack. This move perfectly encapsulates Koraidon's raw, untamed power and its origin in a primordial era. Visually, Collision Course manifests as Koraidon charging forward with immense force, its sturdy limbs and powerful body becoming a singular, irresistible projectile. The impact is depicted as a concussive shockwave, a violent meeting of forces that echoes the primal struggles of an earlier time. It's a move that doesn't just inflict damage, it conveys the sheer kinetic energy of a beast that has survived and thrived in a world of pure, unadulterated strength. The very ground might seem to buckle under the sheer momentum, a testament to the untamed might it represents. In stark contrast, Miraidon, the Iron Serpent, a marvel from a potential future, employs Electro Drift, an electric-type special attack. This move is a dazzling display of technological prowess and harnessed energy, reflecting Miraidon's futuristic origins. When Miraidon uses Electro Drift, it surges forward, propelled by crackling electrical currents, its metallic form glowing with contained power. The attack itself is a highly focused burst of electricity, delivered with precision and speed, a testament to advanced engineering and refined energy manipulation. It's not a wild, untamed force, but a controlled, precise discharge, reflecting the sleek, efficient nature of its future world. The visual is often one of blurring speed and brilliant electrical arcs, leaving a trail of shimmering energy in its wake, a stark contrast to Koraidon's more impactful physical approach. Both Collision Course and Electro Drift, while distinct in their execution, are formidable attacks that perfectly illustrate the divergent paths through time that Koraidon and Miraidon represent. Moving further into the Paldea region, we encounter the enigmatic trio of Loyal Three, Munkidori, Okidogi, and Fezandipiti, each imbued with a toxic power and a signature move that reflects their unique, albeit sinister, charm. Munkidori, the nimble and cunning of the three, employs Toxic Chain, a poison-type special attack. This move involves Munkidori generating a shimmering ethereal chain of pure toxicity, which it then whips or ensnares its opponent with. The visual often shows this chain glowing with an unearthly, sickly green hue, wrapping around the target and slowly draining their vitality. The lore suggests that this chain is not just a physical manifestation of poison, but a conduit for the negative energy and ill will that Munkidori embodies, a subtle yet insidious attack that slowly eats away at the opponent's strength. It's a move that speaks to a more cerebral, debilitating form of attack rather than direct brute force, reflecting Munkidori's cunning nature. Okidogi, the strong and loyal, unleashes the powerful Toxic Cudgel, a poison-type physical attack. This move sees Okidogi manifesting a visible, glowing cudgel, or club, made entirely of concentrated poison. It then uses this toxic weapon to strike its opponent with formidable force. The visual is one of a heavy, impactful blow, the cudgel leaving behind a lingering cloud of toxic mist or a visible stain of poison on the point of impact. This attack emphasizes Okidogi's physical strength and more direct approach to combat, embodying a blunt, forceful application of its toxic power. The cudgel itself might appear to pulse with a dark, dangerous energy, a clear indication of its harmful properties. Fezandipiti, the graceful and alluring, utilizes the elegant, and dangerous Toxic Pledge, a poison-type special attack. This move involves Fezandipiti creating a swirling, iridescent cloud of poison that it then delivers to its opponent, often with a flourish or a deceptive gesture. The visual is often one of beauty masking danger, the poisonous cloud appearing almost enchanting before it delivers its debilitating effects. The lore suggests that this pledge is more than just a physical attack. It carries a subtle, mesmerizing quality that draws the opponent in before the poison takes hold, a reflection of Fezandipiti's deceptive charm. It's a more ethereal and widespread application of poison, covering a broader area or affecting multiple targets with its insidious influence. Each of the Loyal Three's signature moves, while all poison type, exhibit a distinct personality and approach to inflicting their toxic wrath, mirroring their individual characteristics. Finally, we encounter Ogerpon, the mysterious and adaptable mask-wearing Pokémon, a central figure in the legends of Kitakami. Ogerpon's signature move is Ivy Cudgel, a grass-type physical attack. This move is unique in that its type changes depending on the mask Ogerpon is wearing, showcasing its incredible versatility and connection to the natural elements. When Ogerpon uses Ivy Cudgel, it summons a powerful vine-like club or a cudgel woven from sturdy natural materials and strikes its opponent with it. The visual is one of natural strength and organic power, the cudgel appearing to be a living extension of Ogerpon's will. More specifically, when Ogerpon wears its teal mask, the Ivy Cudgel remains a pure grass-type attack, embodying the fundamental strength and vitality of nature. The cudgel might appear to be crafted from robust wood and vibrant leaves, striking with a forceful, grounding impact. When Ogerpon dons its Hearthflame mask, the Ivy Cudgel transforms into a grass fire type attack. The cudgel might now be infused with flickering flames, or appear charred and glowing with internal heat, delivering a searing, fiery impact alongside its natural force. This reflects the destructive and revitalizing power of fire within nature. With the Wellspring mask, the Ivy Cudgel becomes a grass water type attack. The cudgel might shimmer with water or appear to be made of flowing currents and sturdy reeds, striking with a fluid yet powerful impact, perhaps leaving a slight splash or a damp residue. This signifies the life-giving and cleansing power of water. And when Ogerpon wears its cornerstone mask, the Ivy Cudgel becomes a grass rock type attack. The cudgel might appear to be formed from solid stone interwoven with vines, delivering a heavy, unyielding impact, perhaps even crumbling slightly upon contact to scatter small, sharp fragments. This embodies the enduring and resilient strength of the earth. This adaptability of Ivy Cudgel is not merely a clever game mechanic. It speaks to Ogerpon's deep connection to the elemental forces and its ability to draw upon different aspects of nature depending on its needs. It highlights Ogerpon's role as a protector and a force of balance, capable of wielding various natural powers with skill and precision. Each variation of Ivy Cudgel is a testament to Ogerpon's intrinsic connection to the environment and its mastery over different elemental energies, making it a truly unique and formidable legendary Pokémon. The gentle understanding of these nuanced powers can lead to a deeper appreciation of the intricate world of Pokémon, where even a single move can tell a rich and elaborate story. The subtle hum of these legendary tales continues to weave a tapestry of wonder, gently guiding the mind towards a state of serene calm. a prelude to the peaceful embrace of dreams. Each whisper of a move, each description of power, serves to deepen the tranquility, preparing the spirit for a quiet night's rest, filled with echoes of mythical might and the quiet wisdom of ancient legends. As we drift deeper into the gentle currents of legendary lore, we encounter the enigmatic Blood Moon, a signature move exclusively belonging to the formidable Blood Moon Ursaluna. This move, a normal type special attack, is steeped in an almost primal power, a raw force that emanates from the very being of this ancient Pokémon. Unlike many signature moves that boast intricate secondary effects or type manipulations, Blood Moon stands out for its sheer, unadulterated power and its unique drawback. It is described as a move that unleashes a full-force blast of the Blood Moon's wrath, an evocative phrase that paints a picture of a celestial body descending with devastating intent. The animation often depicts Ursaluna gathering energy, perhaps with an eerie red glow emanating from its body, before unleashing a concentrated beam or orb of crimson light. This visual representation underscores the move's name, drawing a direct connection to the celestial phenomenon. The true distinctiveness of Blood Moon, however, lies in its singular yet impactful secondary effect. It cannot be used consecutively. After Blood Moon is unleashed, Blood Moon Ursaluna must take a turn to recharge, leaving it open to attack or forcing a strategic switch. This limitation is not merely a balancing act within the game, it subtly informs the lore of Blood Moon Ursaluna. It suggests that such immense power cannot be wielded without consequence, that an attack of this magnitude drains the user, requiring a moment of respite to gather its strength once more. This reflects a certain natural rhythm, a ebb and flow of energy, even for a legendary beast. The Blood Moon itself, in many mythologies, is often associated with periods of heightened energy, transformation, or even a sense of foreboding. For Blood Moon Ursaluna, this move is a manifestation of that concentrated power, a burst of raw force that pays homage to its namesake. The fact that it's a normal type move, rather than a more exotic elemental type, further emphasizes its fundamental nature. It's not about complex elemental manipulation, it's about pure, unadulterated strength, a direct expression of Blood Moon Ursaluna's ancient and formidable presence. The imagery associated with the Blood Moon, often tinged with mystery and an almost primeval energy, perfectly aligns with the lore of this unique Ursaluna form, an echo from a bygone era, now awakened with a powerful, albeit momentarily exhausting, attack. To witness Blood Moon in action is to glimpse the raw, untamed power of nature, a force that demands respect and understanding, and then a moment of quiet contemplation as the energy disperses. Moving gently forward, we encounter the majestic Fickle Beam, the exclusive signature move of the Paradox Pokémon Iron Boulder. This psychic-type special attack is a fascinating study in unpredictability, perfectly embodying the futuristic and somewhat erratic nature of Iron Boulder itself. The very name, Fickle Beam, hints at its primary characteristic, an inherent chance of varying power. Specifically, Fickle Beam has a 30% chance to double its base power, transforming a standard attack into a devastating surge of psychic energy. This introduces an element of delightful uncertainty into battles, making each use of Fickle Beam a gamble, a moment of suspense where the outcome can shift dramatically. The animation for Fickle Beam might depict Iron Boulder charging a beam of psychic energy, perhaps with a shimmering, unstable aura, before unleashing it. When the power doubles, the beam might intensify, growing larger, brighter, or more intricate, showcasing the amplified psychic force. This visual representation would underscore the fickle nature of the attack, visually differentiating its standard and empowered forms. The lore implications of Fickle Beam are particularly intriguing for a paradox Pokemon like Iron Boulder. As a creature from the distant future, Iron Boulder embodies advanced technology and perhaps a certain level of unpredictable high energy output. The varying power of Fickle Beam could symbolize the cutting edge, yet sometimes volatile, nature of future technology. It might suggest that Iron Boulder's psychic abilities are so advanced, so finely tuned, that they sometimes exceed their intended parameters, resulting in an unexpected surge of power. This unpredictability could be a deliberate design choice, or perhaps a byproduct of its futuristic origins, a manifestation of energies not fully understood in the present. The psychic typing of Fickle Beam is also significant. Psychic energy itself is often associated with mental prowess, foresight, and sometimes a degree of instability or overwhelming power. For Iron Boulder, this suggests its advanced mental faculties or even its internal energy systems are capable of generating such a fluctuating yet incredibly potent attack. The concept of fickleness in a beam attack also adds a layer of character to Iron Boulder. It's not just a powerful machine, it's a being with an unpredictable edge, a touch of wildness, even within its metallic, futuristic form. This contrasts with the more predictable, stable attacks of many legendary Pokémon, setting Iron Boulder apart as a creature of both immense power and intriguing caprice. Fickle Beam, therefore, is more than just a powerful move. It's a narrative device that enriches the lore of Iron Boulder, painting a picture of a paradox Pokemon that is both technologically advanced and wonderfully unpredictable, a shimmering, uncertain beacon from a future yet to fully unfold. The gentle whisper of its potential, the soft glow of its power, invites a contemplation of what lies ahead in the peaceful dark. Continuing our quiet journey through the annals of legendary power, we arrive at Mighty Cleave, the signature move of the prehistoric paradox Pokemon Gouging Fire. This powerful fire dragon type physical attack is a testament to raw, untamed strength and a scorching primal ferocity. What makes Mighty Cleave particularly noteworthy is its unique secondary effect. It always destroys terrain. This effect is not merely a tactical advantage in battle, it speaks volumes about Gouging Fire's ancient and destructive power. The animation for Mighty Cleave would likely be a spectacle of fiery might. Imagine Gouging Fire rearing up, its body wreathed in intense flames, perhaps its horns or claws glowing with an inner heat, before it unleashes a devastating, sweeping attack. This could manifest as a powerful claw swipe imbued with dragonic fire, or a sweeping headbutt that leaves a trail of scorching embers. The destruction of terrain would be visually represented by the ground cracking, charring, or being violently disrupted by the force of the attack, emphasizing its overwhelming power and the impact it has on the battlefield. The fire dragon typing of Mighty Cleave is deeply resonant with Gouging Fire's appearance and lore. As a paradox Pokemon resembling an ancient, fiery beast, these types are a natural fit, showcasing its primal elemental control and its monstrous draconic power. The combination suggests an attack that is not only searingly hot, but also imbued with a powerful, almost magical force, capable of tearing through defenses and altering the very landscape. The ability to destroy terrain is the most compelling aspect for lore interpretation. Terrain effects in Pokemon battles often represent environmental influences, whether natural or artificially generated. For gouging fire to cleave through these terrains suggests an inherent power that transcends and overrides environmental conditions. It implies a creature so ancient and so powerful that its attacks fundamentally reshape the battlefield, obliterating any existing elemental or structural foundations. This isn't just about dealing damage, it's about asserting dominance over the environment itself. It speaks to Gouging Fire's role as a creature from a bygone era, perhaps a time when the world was more chaotic and untamed, where powerful beings could literally alter the landscape with their might. Mighty Cleave is a force of nature, an embodiment of the raw, destructive power that could have shaped continents and incinerated ancient forests. It represents a primal strength that refuses to be constrained by artificial or even natural constructs, asserting its own fiery dominion. This move paints Gouging Fire as a creature that doesn't just fight within the environment, it actively dictates and reshapes it through sheer, overwhelming force. The echoes of its ancient power reverberate softly, a powerful lullaby of primordial might, settling into the quiet depths of our understanding. Drifting further into the quiet realm of legendary tales, we encounter the serene yet potent Hydro Steam, the signature move of the Paradox Pokémon Walking Wake. This water-type special attack possesses a peculiar and intriguing property that sets it apart. Its power is boosted when the weather is harsh sunlight. This seemingly contradictory effect, a water-type move gaining strength from intense heat, offers a fascinating glimpse into the unique energies and paradoxical nature of Walking Wake. The animation for Hydro Steam would likely be a visually striking display. Imagine Walking Wake gathering water, perhaps superheating it within its body, before unleashing a concentrated jet or wave of intensely hot, steaming water. The visual effect might include shimmering heat hazes, rising steam, and a powerful, almost explosive discharge of water. When used in harsh sunlight, the animation could intensify, with the steam becoming denser, the water appearing to boil more violently, or the overall impact gaining a more vibrant, energetic glow, showcasing its amplified power. The water typing of Hydro Steam is, of course, entirely consistent with Walking Wake's draconic, aquatic form. It is a creature born of water and ancient power. However, the secondary effect is where the lore truly shines. The idea that a water-type move gains strength from harsh sunlight challenges conventional elemental interactions and points to a deeper, more complex energy dynamic within Walking Wake. This paradox could be interpreted in several ways. Firstly, it might suggest that Walking Wake's internal energy systems are so advanced, so finely tuned, that they can actually harness and convert external solar energy into a more potent form of hydropower. The harsh sunlight, rather than being a detrimental factor for a water type, becomes a catalyst, supercharging its abilities. This speaks to its futuristic or paradox origins, perhaps hinting at a form of energy manipulation that is beyond our current understanding. Secondly, it could represent a unique evolutionary adaptation from its ancient past. Perhaps in a primeval world, certain aquatic creatures developed ways to thrive, and even gain power in extreme conditions, such as intense heat, by superheating their own bodily fluids or leveraging thermal energy. This would make hydrosteam a survival mechanism turned into a powerful offensive ability. Furthermore, the concept of steam itself is a blend of water and heat. Hydrosteam, therefore, inherently embodies this fusion. The harsh sunlight could be seen as providing the exothermic energy needed to create an even more potent pressurized steam attack. It transforms the water from a cooling agent into a searing, energetic force. This move paints Walking Wake as a creature that defies simple elemental categorizations, a testament to its paradoxical nature. It's a being that thrives on contradictions, harnessing opposing forces to amplify its own formidable power. Hydrosteam is not just a powerful attack, it's a statement about Walking Wake's unique place in the Pokémon world, a creature that elegantly bridges the gap between ancient power and futuristic adaptation, a gentle yet powerful reminder of the vast mysteries that still await our quiet contemplation. The soft hiss of the steam carries with it the wisdom of ages, a soothing sound as we continue to journey inward towards rest. As our quiet exploration continues, we arrive at Psychic Noise, the signature move of the esteemed legendary Pecharunt. This psychic type special attack is unique not only for its typing, but also for its profound and strategic secondary effect. It prevents the target from healing for 2 turns. This effect is a potent disruption, speaking volumes about the manipulative and insidious nature often attributed to Pecharunt in its lore. The animation for Psychic Noise would likely be a subtle yet unsettling display of psychic manipulation. Imagine Pecharunt emitting a wave of unseen energy, perhaps with faint, shimmering psychic ripples emanating outward, or a soft, almost imperceptible hum that affects the target's mind. There might be a visual representation of a barrier forming around the target, or a distortion in their aura, signifying their inability to recover. The noise in the name could imply a disruptive mental frequency, a grating or disorienting psychic resonance that interferes with the target's natural healing processes. The psychic typing is a natural fit for Pecharunt, a Pokémon known for its mind-controlling potent mochi and its ability to subtly influence others. Psychic abilities are often associated with mental manipulation, illusions, and direct interference with cognitive functions. For Pecharunt, Psychic Noise is a direct extension of its cunning and controlling nature, not merely dealing damage, but incapacitating an opponent's ability to recover, slowly wearing them down. The most critical aspect of Psychic Noise for lore interpretation is its healing prevention effect. This is far more than a simple attack. It's a strategic disablement. It suggests that Pecharunt doesn't just defeat its opponents through brute force, it subtly undermines their resilience, eroding their ability to sustain themselves. This aligns perfectly with Pecharunt's lore as a master manipulator, using its toxic chains and persuasive powers to slowly bring others under its sway. The prevention of healing for 2 turns implies a lingering psychological or energetic interference, a disruption that persists even after the initial attack. It's not a temporary shock, it's a sustained mental interference that compromises the target's well-being. This reflects Pecharunt's patient and calculated approach, not wishing for a quick defeat, but a thorough, persistent breakdown of its opponent's will and vitality. This move paints Petulant as a legendary Pokemon whose power lies not just in raw strength, but in its ability to control and debilitate through insidious means. It's a testament to its cunning, its intelligence, and its mastery over the subtle forces of the mind and body. Psychic noise is a gentle yet firm assertion of dominance, a quiet, insistent whisper that saps the strength from its foes, ensuring their eventual succumbance. The quiet hum of its psychic energy, a soft, pervasive influence, invites a deep, peaceful calm, a subtle surrender to the enveloping quiet. As we continue our tranquil journey through the legendary echoes, we encounter Burning Bulwark, the exclusive signature move of the majestic Terrapagos. This normal type status move is a profound expression of Terrapagos's defensive capabilities and its deep connection to the phenomenon of terrestrialization. Its effect is straightforward yet immensely powerful. It protects the user from all incoming attacks for one turn. However, its unique characteristic is that it also inflicts the occasion burned status condition on any opponent that makes direct contact with Terrapagos while Burning Bulwark is active. This dual nature of protection and retaliation perfectly encapsulates Terrapagos's role as a resilient and powerful guardian. The animation for Burning Bulwark would likely be a breathtaking display of crystalline energy. Imagine Terrapagos retreating into its shell, perhaps with a brilliant, iridescent glow enveloping its form, reminiscent of its terrestrialized state. As an opponent makes contact, a burst of fiery energy or a scorching heat haze might erupt from the shield, visually representing the burn status being inflicted. The burning aspect could be subtle, perhaps a shimmering heat over the crystalline shield, rather than overt flames, emphasizing the intense energy contained within. The normal typing of Burning Bulwark is significant. While Terrapagos is capable of changing its type through terrestrialization, its base form is normal. A normal type defensive move suggests a fundamental innate resilience that is always present irrespective of its current elemental state. It speaks to a core, unwavering defense that is part of Terrapagos's very being. The primary effect of protecting from all attacks for one turn is a classic defensive maneuver, but the secondary effect is where the lore of Terrapagos truly intertwines. The ability to burn any direct contact attacker while protected speaks volumes about Terrapagos's inherent energy and its protective nature. It suggests that its defense is not merely passive. It actively retaliates against those who dare to breach its sacred space. This burning effect is a manifestation of the intense, raw energy that Terrapagos embodies, particularly in its connection to terrestrialization. The terrestrial phenomenon itself is associated with a radiant, almost fiery energy that crystallizes around a Pokémon. Burning Bulwark hints that Terrapagos, the source or perhaps the guardian of this phenomenon, possesses a concentrated form of this energy, ready to be unleashed in defense. This move paints Terrapagos as a formidable protector, not just of itself, but perhaps of the terrestrial energy itself. Its defense is a warning, a deterrent against those who would approach with hostile intent. The burn status, a debilitating condition, ensures that even if an attacker manages to chip away at its defenses, they will pay a price for their audacity. Burning Bulwark is a testament to Terrapagos's incredible resilience, its inherent power, and its role as a bedrock of the Paldea region's unique elemental phenomena. It is a quiet, yet firm declaration of its unyielding strength, a soft, warm glow of protection that invites a deep sense of security and peace, gently guiding the mind to an untroubled slumber, surrounded by the echoes of ancient crystalline might. As we drift further into the tranquil depths of Pokemon lore, our journey brings us to another fascinating signature move from the ninth generation, Luminary. This move belongs to the Paradox Pokemon, Iron Leaves, a futuristic relative of Virition. Luminary is a psychic-type special attack with a base power of 80 and an accuracy of 100%. What makes Luminary truly unique and deeply entwined with Iron Leaves' essence is its secondary effect. If electric terrain is active, the move's power doubles. Let's gently unravel the layers of meaning embedded within Luminary. The name itself, Luminary, evokes images of brightness, enlightenment, and a source of light or inspiration. In a broader sense, a luminary can refer to a celestial body, such as the sun or moon, or an influential person. For Iron Leaves, a creature of the future, perhaps luminary signifies its advanced nature, its role as a beacon of technological progress, or even its ability to shed light on new possibilities within the Pokemon world. The psychic typing is a natural fit for a futuristic Pokemon like Iron Leaves. Psychic type moves often represent advanced mental capabilities, telekinetic powers, or even an understanding of complex energy manipulation. For Iron Leaves, a creature composed of sharp, metallic leaves and imbued with an almost ethereal glow, psychic energy could manifest as precise, focused beams of light or concentrated mental projections. The visual representation of Luminary would likely be quite stunning, reflecting Iron Leaves' sleek, almost ethereal design. Imagine Iron Leaves gathering luminous energy within its metallic, leaf-like appendages, perhaps with a soft hum or crackle of electricity. The energy might coalesce into a brilliant, concentrated beam of light, or perhaps a swirl of glowing psychic particles that are then launched at the opponent. The luminary aspect could be emphasized by the sheer brilliance and clarity of the attack, leaving a lingering, almost shimmering afterimage. The attack might even carry a slight metallic sheen, hinting at Iron Leaves' composition. Now let's delve into the core of Luminary's lore, its synergy with electric terrain. Electric terrain is an environmental condition that boosts the power of electric-type moves and prevents grounded Pokemon from falling asleep. For Iron Leaves, a grass psychic type, the immediate connection isn't obvious from its typing alone. However, Iron Leaves is a Paradox Pokemon from the future, heavily implied to be artificial or augmented in some way. Many future Paradox Pokemon, including Iron Hands, Iron Moth, Iron Thorns, and Iron Bundle, exhibit traits that suggest a deep connection to electricity or advanced technology. They often activate their ability, Quark Drive, when electric terrain is active or when holding a booster energy. This suggests that electric terrain is not just a battle condition for them, but a fundamental energy source, an environment in which they thrive and reach their full potential. For Iron Leaves, Luminary doubling in power in electric terrain speaks volumes about its intrinsic design. It implies that Iron Leaves, despite its grass typing, is somehow deeply integrated with electrical energy or a technologically advanced power source that is amplified by electric terrain. Perhaps its leaves are not merely organic, but a fusion of plant material and highly conductive, futuristic alloys that absorb and channel electrical energy. In electric terrain, the air itself hums with electrical current, And for Iron Leaves, this ambient energy becomes a catalyst, supercharging its psychic abilities. The luminary aspect could be further enhanced, with the beam of light becoming even more intense, more focused, and imbued with an almost electric crackle. It's as if electric terrain acts as a power outlet, allowing Iron Leaves to tap into a vast reservoir of energy, transforming its already potent psychic attack into something truly devastating. This interaction paints a picture of Iron Leaves as a highly advanced biological technological construct, a testament to future scientific prowess. It's a creature that finds its peak performance in an electrically charged environment, suggesting that its very existence, its power, and its luminary qualities are intrinsically linked to this energy. It's not just a Pokemon that benefits from electric terrain, it's a Pokemon that is designed to flourish within it. This connection to electric terrain also subtly links Iron Leaves to its past counterpart Virition, which, while not directly benefiting from electric terrain, is a creature of swiftness and precision. Iron Leaves' enhanced speed and power in this electrically charged environment can be seen as an advanced evolution of that fundamental characteristic. Luminary, therefore, is not just an attack, it's a declaration of Iron Leaves' identity as a future-era entity, powered and perfected by the very energy that defines its advanced world. It's a quiet hum of future technology, a soft glow of advanced power, inviting a peaceful sense of wonder as we contemplate the evolution of Pokemon through time, gently guiding thoughts toward a quiet, restful state. Our journey through the signature moves of legendary Pokemon now brings us to another fascinating ability from the 9th generation, and one that is quite unique in its concept, Tachyon Cutter. This move belongs to the Paradox Pokemon, the Iron Boulder, the future counterpart of Terrakion. Tachyon Cutter is a rock-type special attack with a base power of 50 and an accuracy of 100%. Its defining characteristic is that it always hits twice in a single turn. Let's calmly explore the nuances of Tachyon Cutter. The name Tachyon Cutter immediately conjures images of incredible speed and precision. A tachyon is a hypothetical subatomic particle that moves faster than light. This scientific reference perfectly aligns with the futuristic theme of Iron Boulder, a Pokemon designed with speed and advanced technology in mind. The cutter part suggests a sharp, incisive action, hinting at the clean, precise nature of the attack. The rock typing for Iron Boulder, much like its ancient counterpart Terrakion, emphasizes its robust and powerful physical presence. However, unlike Terrakion, which primarily uses physical rock attacks like Sacred Sword or Close Combat, Iron Boulder's Tachyon Cutter is a special rock attack. This is a significant distinction. It implies that Iron Boulder, despite its stony appearance, utilizes energy in a unique and advanced way, perhaps channeling internal energy to create these tachyon projectiles rather than relying purely on physical force. Visually, Tachyon Cutter would likely be a breathtaking display of speed and light. Imagine Iron Boulder with its sleek, angular design and glowing parts concentrating energy. Perhaps it projects two incredibly fast, almost imperceptible blades or beams of concentrated rock energy. These cutters wouldn't be slow, heavy boulders, but rather sharp, luminous projectiles that flash across the battlefield at unimaginable speeds, striking the opponent twice before they can even react. The effect might be a series of swift, bright slashes of light, leaving behind temporary trails of energy, emphasizing the tachyon aspect, a fleeting, faster than light impact. The sound might be a sharp, high pitched whirring or a double swoosh, reinforcing the idea of two distinct, rapid strikes. The core mechanic of Tachyon Cutter, hitting twice in one turn, is where its lore truly shines. This isn't just about raw power, it's about efficiency, precision, and overwhelming speed. In a world where even fractions of a second can determine the outcome of a battle, striking twice before the opponent can respond offers a distinct tactical advantage. This reflects Iron Boulder's futuristic design, which likely prioritizes optimized performance and advanced combat strategies. The repeated strike could represent Iron Boulder's superior processing power, allowing it to calculate and execute two attacks in the time it would take for a more conventional Pokémon to launch one. It's a manifestation of its advanced AI or integrated combat systems, enabling it to double its offensive output. Furthermore, the tachyon aspect suggests a mastery over time and space, even if only in a theoretical sense. While actual tachyons are theoretical, their inclusion in the name implies that Iron Boulder operates at a level of speed and efficiency that borders on the impossible for conventional Pokémon. It's a subtle nod to the technological advancements of the future, where such concepts might be harnessed for combat. The consistent double hit also provides incredible flexibility in battle. It can break through abilities like Sturdy or Focus Sash in a single turn, demonstrating an overwhelming offensive presence that bypasses common defensive strategies. This speaks to Iron Boulder's role as a powerful, future-era combatant designed to overcome obstacles with speed and precision. Tachyon Cutter, therefore, is more than just a rock-type attack. It's a statement about Iron Boulder's identity as a cutting-edge, future-era Pokémon. It embodies speed, precision, and advanced technological prowess, allowing it to strike with unparalleled efficiency. It tells a story of evolution, where even the raw power of rock can be refined and augmented by futuristic science to achieve a level of combat performance previously unimagined. It's a swift, dual flash of power, a gentle whisper of future possibilities that soothes the mind into a tranquil, undisturbed rest. As our peaceful exploration continues, we turn our attention to another captivating signature move from the 9th generation, one that speaks of ancient power and primal forces, Psycho Blade. This move belongs to the Paradox Pokémon, Walking Wake, an ancient relative of Suicune. Psycho Blade is a Psychic-type physical attack with a base power of 80 and an accuracy of 100%. Its unique property is that if electric terrain is active, the move's power doubles. Let's calmly immerse ourselves in the mystique of Psycho Blade. The name Psycho Blade immediately evokes a sense of sharp, psychic energy. Psycho clearly indicates its psychic typing and the mental or spiritual origin of the attack, while Blade suggests a cutting, incisive action. This combination paints a picture of a precise, energetic strike rather than a blunt force. The psychic typing for Walking Wake is particularly intriguing for an ancient Pokémon that draws parallels to Suicune, a water-type legendary. While Suicune is known for its purity and ability to purify water, Walking Wake's psychic typing hints at a different, perhaps more raw and untamed mental or spiritual power from an ancient era. It suggests that in the distant past, mental capabilities or spiritual energies might have manifested differently, perhaps in a more direct, weaponized form. Visually, Psycho Blade would likely be a spectacular display of ancient psychic power. Imagine Walking Wake, with its majestic, dinosaur like form and flowing mane, concentrating its psychic energy. This energy might coalesce around its claws or its powerful jaw, forming shimmering ethereal blades of pure psychic force. These blades wouldn't be physical, rather, they would be extensions of Walking Wake's will, sharp and potent. The attack could manifest as a series of swift, almost invisible slashes, or perhaps a single powerful cleave of psychic energy that leaves a visible ripple in the air. The blade aspect could be emphasized by the clean, precise cuts inflicted, perhaps glowing with a faint, otherworldly light. The sound might be a subtle hum, followed by a sharp, ethereal swish as the psychic blade cuts through the air. Now let's explore the secondary effect, the doubling of power in electric terrain. This is a fascinating paradox, as Walking Wake is a water dragon type, and electric terrain doesn't inherently boost either of those types. However, like other ancient paradox Pokémon such as Great Tusk, Screamtail, Brute Bonnet, and Fluttermane, Walking Wake possesses the photosynthesis ability. This ability activates when harsh sunlight is present or when holding a booster energy, boosting its highest stat. But the synergy with electric terrain for Psycho Blade suggests a deeper, more mysterious connection. For ancient Pokémon, the concept of electric terrain might not be a modern technological phenomenon, but rather a representation of a primal, highly energetic environment. Perhaps in the ancient past, certain geographical areas or atmospheric conditions were naturally charged with intense electrical energy. Think of powerful thunderstorms, volcanic activity generating static electricity, or even a different planetary magnetic field. In such an environment, Walking Wake, a creature of raw, untamed power, might have evolved to harness this ambient, electrical energy to amplify its psychic abilities. It could be that its unique biology, its ancient draconic lineage, allows it to absorb and channel this raw electrical force, transforming it into psychic power. This interaction with electric terrain paints a picture of Walking Wake as a creature finely attuned to its primal surroundings. It suggests that its psychic abilities, though formidable on their own, are supercharged when immersed in an environment of intense, natural energy. The Psycho Blade then becomes not just a mental attack, but a conduit for the raw power of the ancient world. The increased power could be visualized by the psychic blades becoming more vibrant, more substantial, perhaps even crackling with a faint blue or white static discharge, hinting at the electrical energy being channeled. The combination of water dragon typing with a psychic signature move further deepens the lore. While Suicune purifies water, Walking Wake, with its dragon typing, brings a sense of ancient, untamed power. Its psychic abilities, amplified by what we call electric terrain, suggest a mastery over both its own mind and the primal energies of its environment. It's a creature that embodies the raw, untamed forces of the past, capable of wielding spiritual energy with the precision of a blade, empowered by the very essence of its ancient world. Psycho Blade is therefore not merely an attack, it is a profound declaration of Walking Wake's primal power, its ancient wisdom, and its deep connection to the elemental forces of a bygone era. It's a sharp, yet soothing hum of ancient energy, a gentle ripple in the fabric of time that lulls the mind into a profound and peaceful sleep, surrounded by the echoes of prehistoric might. Continuing our journey through the echoes of ancient power, we now turn our attention to Iron Leaves, a paradox Pokémon from the future, a counterpart to Virition, and the wielder of the signature move, Psyblade. While Walking Wake's Psycho Blade thrives on the primal energies of the past, Iron Leaf's Psyblade is a manifestation of advanced technology and refined psychic prowess, a testament to a future where science and psychic abilities intertwine. Iron Leaves, a grass psychic type, also possesses the Quark Drive ability. This ability, much like photosynthesis, activates under specific conditions, when electric terrain is present or when holding a booster energy. However, unlike Walking Wake's more organic, primal connection to electric terrain, Iron Leaf's interaction with it feels distinctly different, almost synthetic. Its very design, with its sleek, metallic form and glowing futuristic aura, suggests a manufactured elegance. Psyblade, a psychic type move with a base power of 80, has an intriguing secondary effect. Its power is boosted by 50% when electric terrain is active. This parallels the effect of Walking Wake's Psycho Blade, yet the interpretation of the synergy is vastly different. For Iron Leaves, electric terrain is not just a primal energy source, it's a field of pure, controlled energy, a perfect medium for its advanced psychic capabilities. Imagine a future where electrical currents are not just for powering machines, but for enhancing mental processes, for creating a network of psychic energy that amplifies and refines attacks. The Psyblade itself is described as a sharp, psychic blade that Iron Leaves forms with its mind. But within the context of electric terrain, this blade takes on a new dimension. Perhaps the electrical currents within the terrain act as a superconductor for its psychic energy, allowing it to manifest a blade that is not merely mental, but almost tangible, crackling with an ethereal blue or green energy. It could be that the electric terrain acts as a sort of charging station for Iron Leaves, constantly feeding it with the necessary energy to maintain and strengthen its psychic constructs. The move's animation might show the air around Iron Leaves shimmering with electrical energy, which then coalesces around its horn or limbs, forming a glowing, razor-sharp edge. This edge would then be launched or used in a sweeping motion, leaving behind a faint trail of electrical discharge, a visual representation of the enhanced power. The sound of Psyblade, when amplified by electric terrain, might be a sharp, resonant hum, almost like a finely tuned instrument, rather than the raw, guttural power of Walking Wake's Psycho Blade. The grass psychic typing of Iron Leaves further enhances the mystique of Psyblade, while Virition, its ancient counterpart, embodies the spirit of nature and justice. Iron Leaves represents a future where nature and technology have merged in unexpected ways. Its psychic abilities are not just innate, they are perhaps augmented by its metallic body, allowing for a more precise and powerful manipulation of mental energy. The grass aspect might then symbolize its connection to life and growth, but expressed through a futuristic lens, perhaps through bioengineered enhancements or a deep understanding of natural patterns translated into code. The concept of a blade in this context is also fascinating. For Walking Wake, it was a primal weapon, a projection of raw spiritual force. For Iron Leaves, it's a refined instrument, a testament to advanced psychic engineering. It's a blade that cuts not through flesh, but through the very fabric of reality, guided by a future intellect. The enhanced power in electric terrain suggests that this future environment is perfectly optimized for Iron Leaf's unique abilities, a testament to a world where technology works in harmony with, or perhaps even dictates, the flow of psychic energy. Psyblade, then, is more than just an attack. It is a symbol of Iron Leaf's origin, a creature from a technologically advanced future where even psychic powers can be optimized and amplified by specific environmental conditions. It's a quiet hum of future possibilities, a gentle glint of metallic leaves in a world powered by clean, controlled energy. This move, much like Iron Leaves itself, whispers of a future where precision and power are not mutually exclusive, where the mind can shape the world with the sharpness of a perfectly engineered blade, a soothing thought that guides us deeper into slumber. From the futuristic precision of Iron Leaves, we now drift back in time to the legendary Pokémon of the Johto region, specifically Lugia, the Guardian of the Seas, and its iconic signature move, Aeroblast. Lugia, a psychic Chao's flying type, is known as the diving Pokémon, a creature of immense power that prefers to reside deep beneath the ocean's surface, only emerging to quell conflicts between the legendary birds of Kanto. Aeroblast is a flying type special move with a staggering base power of 100 and a heightened critical hit ratio. This means it has a greater chance of landing a critical strike, delivering even more devastating damage. The description of Aeroblast states that Lugia unleashes a powerful, concentrated blast of wind, but to truly understand Aeroblast, we must delve into the very essence of Lugia. Lugia is a creature of balance, a peacekeeper. Its immense power is not meant for destruction, but for restoration. The concentrated blast of wind in Aeroblast is not just a simple gust. It's a manifestation of Lugia's mastery over the very atmosphere and its own psychic potential. Imagine Lugia, deep beneath the waves, sensing the turmoil above. It ascends, its massive wings generating powerful currents, not just of water, but of air itself. The critical hit ratio of Aeroblast suggests a precision, a focused intent behind the raw power. It's not a wild, untamed storm. It's a controlled, targeted strike. Lugia isn't just flapping its wings. It's focusing its psychic energy to compress and accelerate the air particles into a devastating projectile. The move might be visualized as a shimmering, almost invisible spear of wind, gathering power as it hurtles towards its target, perhaps leaving a distorted trail in its wake, like a sonic boom. The sound of Aeroblast would be a high-pitched, whistling roar, building in intensity before a sharp, explosive crack. The psychic flying typing of Lugia is crucial here. Its psychic abilities allow it to manipulate its environment with unprecedented control. It can sense the movements of air currents, the pressure changes, the subtle shifts in the atmosphere. This allows it to create a blast of wind that is not just strong, but perfectly aimed and incredibly focused. The flying aspect grants it the inherent mastery of the skies, but it's the psychic influence that refines this mastery into a potent weapon. Consider the lore surrounding Lugia and its role in maintaining balance. When the three legendary birds, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, clash, their elemental powers threaten to tear the world apart. Lugia emerges, not to overpower them with brute force, but to restore harmony. Aeroblast, in this context, becomes a tool of intervention, a precise strike to quell the conflict without causing undue collateral damage. It's a surgical strike of wind designed to incapacitate rather than obliterate. The name Aeroblast itself is evocative. Arrow refers to air, and blast implies an explosive force. But it's the combination, the carefully constructed nature of this blast, that makes it so unique. It's not a disorganized explosion, it's a channeled force, a focused expulsion of raw atmospheric energy, guided by Lugia's powerful mind. The deep sea environment of Lugia also plays a subtle role. The immense pressure of the deep ocean could be a training ground for its psychic abilities, allowing it to learn to compress and control energy with incredible precision. When it emerges into the relatively less dense atmosphere, this training allows it to unleash Aeroblast with even greater impact. Aeroblast is therefore not just a powerful attack, it is a signature of Lugia's benevolent yet formidable power, a symbol of its role as a guardian of balance. It's a whisper of ancient winds, a focused surge of psychic energy, a gentle yet firm reminder of the vast power that can be wielded with precision and purpose, guiding the mind into a serene and tranquil sleep. As we continue our exploration of legendary powers, we turn our attention from the depths of the ocean to the heights of the ozone layer, to Ho-Oh, the legendary Pokémon of the rainbow, and its blazing signature move, Sacred Fire. Ho-Oh, a fire-flying type, is recognized as the guardian of the skies, a magnificent bird whose feathers shimmer with the colors of the rainbow, said to bring joy and good fortune to those who witness it. Sacred Fire is a fire-type physical move with a base power of 100 and a unique secondary effect. It has a 50% chance to burn the target. This chance to burn is significantly higher than most other fire-type moves, which typically have a 10% chance. This high probability of inflicting a burn is central to understanding the nature of Sacred Fire. Ho-Oh is a symbol of rebirth and resurrection. Legend has it that after the brass tower in Ecruteak City burned down, Ho-Oh flew over the ruins and resurrected 3 Pokémon, transforming them into the legendary beasts, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. This act of resurrection and purification through fire is key to interpreting Sacred Fire. The sacred aspect of the fire is paramount. This isn't just any ordinary flame. It's a flame of purification, of spiritual cleansing. When Ho-Oh unleashes Sacred Fire, it's not merely attacking with heat. It's imbuing its target with a spiritual blaze that not only causes physical damage, but also purifies and cleanses. The high chance of burn could be interpreted not just as physical damage, but as a symbolic burning away of impurities, a cleansing fire that leaves the target scorched, but perhaps also renewed in a spiritual sense. Imagine Ho-Oh soaring through the sky, its rainbow wings catching the light. It gathers the sacred flames within its body, flames that are said to never extinguish, emanating from its very essence. When it unleashes Sacred Fire, it's not a chaotic explosion, but a controlled, radiant burst of golden-orange energy. The move's animation might show the flames swirling around Ho-Oh, coalescing into a concentrated orb of pure spiritual fire, which is then launched with majestic grace. Upon impact, instead of just an explosion, there might be a shimmering effect, a lingering aura of golden light, signifying the sacred aspect of the flames. The sound of Sacred Fire would be a gentle crackling warmth, perhaps accompanied by a soft, ethereal chime, rather than the aggressive roar of typical fire moves. It's a sound that evokes wonder and awe, a comforting warmth rather than a destructive inferno. The fire-flying typing of Ho-Oh further emphasizes its connection to the sky and its purifying flames. As a flying type, it commands the heavens, and as a fire type, it wields the transformative power of flame. Its ability, Regenerator, which restores a third of its maximum HP when it switches out, also aligns with its theme of rebirth and renewal. It's a Pokemon that constantly replenishes itself, much like its sacred fire continuously purifies and renews. The contrast between Lugia's precise, neutral Aeroblast and Ho-Oh's purifying, transformative sacred fire is striking. While Lugia maintains balance through intervention, Ho-Oh restores balance through spiritual renewal. Both are powerful, yet their methods and the nature of their signature moves reflect their distinct roles in the world. Sacred Fire, then, is more than just a powerful attack. It is a declaration of Ho-Oh's divine presence, its role as a bringer of purification and renewal. It's a gentle warmth on a cool night, a shimmering glow that whispers of hope and rebirth, a comforting embrace of spiritual fire that slowly lulls the mind into a deep and peaceful slumber, surrounded by the soft glow of rainbow flames. Continuing our serene journey through the Legendarium, we now turn to the enigmatic Celebi, the time travel Pokemon, guardian of the forests, and orchestrator of temporal shifts, and its signature move, Healing Wish. Celebi, a psychic Chouach grass type, is a mythical Pokemon from the Johto region, known for its ability to traverse time and bring lush vitality to any forest it visits. Healing Wish is a psychic type status move that has a profoundly unique effect. The user, Celebi in this case, faints, but in return the next Pokemon sent out by the player has its HP and all status conditions fully restored. This sacrifice, this selfless act, is at the very core of Celebi's lore and the essence of Healing Wish. Celebi is depicted as a benevolent and compassionate creature, a voice of the forest that dedicates its existence to nurturing nature and protecting the balance of time. Its ability to travel through time is not used for personal gain or destruction, but seemingly for the preservation of ecosystems and the correction of temporal anomalies. Healing Wish is a physical manifestation of Celebi's selflessness. It is not an attack, but a profound act of giving. Imagine Celebi, surrounded by the vibrant energy of the forest, its small, delicate form glowing with an ethereal light. When it uses Healing Wish, it is channeling all of its life force, all of its temporal energy, into a singular, powerful act of restoration. It's a moment of complete surrender, a beautiful sacrifice. The animation for Healing Wish might be a gentle swirling vortex of green and pink light emanating from Celebi. This light would then encompass Celebi, gradually growing brighter until Celebi itself fades away, dissolving into pure energy. This energy doesn't dissipate. Instead, it condenses into a shimmering orb that then floats gracefully towards the next Pokemon, enveloping it in a rejuvenating aura. The sound accompanying Healing Wish would be a soft, melodic chime, perhaps a faint whisper of rustling leaves, followed by a gentle, resonant hum as the energy transfers. The psychic grass typing of Celebi is deeply intertwined with Healing Wish. Its psychic abilities allow it to manipulate energy on a profound level to connect with the very life force of other beings. The grass typing speaks to its connection to nature, its role as a bringer of life and growth. Healing Wish, therefore, is a synthesis of these two aspects, a psychic manipulation of life energy for the purpose of natural restoration. Consider Celebi's role as the voice of the forest. When a forest is in distress, when its life force is waning, Celebi intervenes. Healing Wish can be seen as an extension of this role, a desperate, yet ultimately powerful act to ensure the survival and well being of its companions, mirroring its dedication to the continued health of the natural world. It's a literal manifestation of giving its all to help others. The profound nature of Healing Wish sets it apart from many other signature moves. It's not about inflicting damage or gaining an advantage through force. It's about sacrifice, about extending a helping hand, about ensuring that life, in all its forms, can flourish. This act of altruism, this willingness to give everything for the sake of another, makes Healing Wish one of the most poignant and deeply symbolic signature moves in the Pokemon world. Healing Wish is more than just a move. It is a testament to Celebi's gentle spirit, its unwavering compassion, and its profound connection to the cycles of life and time. It's a soft glow in the deepest parts of the forest, a gentle whisper of renewal, a calming reminder of selfless love that eases the mind into a profound and restful sleep, cradled by the timeless embrace of nature's healing touch. Moving forward from the tranquil forest, we now drift towards the imposing figure of Lugia, the guardian of the seas, and his distinctive signature move, Aeroblast. Aeroblast is a flying type special attack that boasts a high critical hit ratio, making it a formidable force in battle. But its true essence, its depth of lore, lies far beyond mere damage calculations. Aeroblast isn't just a powerful gust of wind, it's a concentrated burst of focused energy, a swirling vortex of air compressed and released with astonishing precision and force. Imagine Lugia diving gracefully through the ocean depths, its massive wings propelling it with an ethereal elegance. Then, as it breaches the surface, or perhaps even from the very heart of a raging storm, its eyes begin to glow with an intense sapphire light. The air around it starts to shimmer, to distort, as if gathering all the atmospheric pressure, all the currents of the sky, into a single, devastating point. This is the genesis of Aeroblast. It's not just wind, it's the very breath of the ocean exhaled with the force of a hurricane. The animation for Aeroblast typically depicts a beautiful, yet terrifying spiral of white and light blue energy, often with golden streaks, launched from Lugia's mouth or chest. This spiraling energy then rockets towards its target, expanding slightly before impact, creating a miniature localized explosion of air. The sound would be a deep, resonant roar, followed by a sharp, whistling crescendo as the blast travels, culminating in a powerful, thunderous impact. Lugia's lore as the guardian of the seas is intricately woven into Aeroblast. While it is a flying-type move, its origin ties back to Lugia's deep connection to the ocean. Legend states that Lugia rests in a deep-sea trench, isolated from the world, to prevent its immense power from causing cataclysms. When it does emerge, it often brings forth powerful storms, and Aeroblast can be seen as the ultimate manifestation of this storm-generating capability. It's not merely a strong attack, it's the concentrated essence of a tempest, a controlled hurricane unleashed with surgical precision. The high critical hit ratio of Aeroblast isn't just a game mechanic. It speaks to the move's inherent accuracy and the sheer force packed into its compressed form. It's not a wild, unguided blast. It's a precisely aimed, devastating projectile, capable of striking a vital point with shocking effectiveness. Consider the dynamic between Lugia and the legendary birds, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. In some lore, Lugia is said to quell their conflicts, to bring balance to the elemental forces they represent. Aeroblast, in this context, could be interpreted as Lugia's ultimate deterrent, a move so potent that it can enforce peace, not through brute force alone, but through overwhelming focused power. It's a statement of authority, a clear demonstration of why Lugia is considered the master of these legendary elemental forces. The psychic typing of Lugia also plays a subtle role in Aeroblast. While the move itself is flying type, Lugia's psychic abilities could be interpreted as the means by which it concentrates and manipulates the air itself, giving the blast its incredible focus and power. It's not just physical force, there's a mental component, a psychic will that shapes and directs the turbulent energies of the atmosphere. Aeroblast is more than a powerful attack. It's a signature of Lugia's majesty, its power, and its role as a force of nature. It's the silent, swirling deep ocean currents, manifesting as a visible, destructive force in the air. It's the calm before a storm, compressed into a singular, devastating moment. It's a move that evokes both awe and a primal sense of respect for the power of the natural world, a power that, when harnessed, can be both beautiful and terrifying. It leaves a lasting impression, a shimmering trail in the imagination, like the lingering memory of a powerful dream. From the depths of the ocean and the expanse of the sky, we now journey to the volcanic heart of the earth itself, to the fiery legend of Ho-Oh and its iconic signature move, Sacred Fire. Sacred Fire is a fire-type physical attack with a unique secondary effect. It has a 50% chance to burn the target. This isn't just any burn, it's a holy flame, a purifying inferno that speaks volumes about Ho-Oh's benevolent yet formidable nature. Visualize Ho-Oh soaring through the heavens on magnificent rainbow-colored wings, leaving a shimmering trail of light in its wake. As it prepares to unleash sacred fire, its already brilliant plumage seems to ignite with an even more intense glow. The air around it becomes superheated, shimmering with visible heat haze. From its beak, or perhaps from the very essence of its radiant body, erupts a stream of golden white flames. These aren't the chaotic, destructive flames of a wildfire. These are controlled, sacred embers, imbued with a divine power. The animations for Sacred Fire would depict a majestic, almost ethereal stream of fire, perhaps swirling with iridescent colors that engulfs the target. Unlike typical fire moves, it wouldn't be a brutal explosion, but rather a consuming, purifying embrace of flame that leaves the opponent engulfed in a gentle yet persistent burn. The sound of Sacred Fire would be a gentle crackling, like a warm hearth fire, but with an underlying resonant hum, almost like a choir of distant bells, signifying its sacred nature. Ho-Oh's lore as the guardian of the skies and the bringer of happiness is deeply intertwined with Sacred Fire. Legend states that Ho-Oh's feathers shimmer with 7 colors, symbolizing the rainbow, and that anyone who sees Ho-Oh is promised eternal happiness. Sacred Fire, while an attack, embodies this purifying and regenerative aspect of Ho-Oh. The burn it inflicts isn't merely damage, it's a cleansing, a removal of impurities. It's a testament to Ho-Oh's power to both destroy and to purify, to bring about renewal through fire. It's a controlled inferno, not a wild blaze. Consider the story of the burned tower in Ecruteak City. When the tower was consumed by fire, 3 Pokémon perished within: Ho-Oh, witnessing this tragedy, descended and resurrected them as the legendary beasts, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. Sacred fire, in this context, can be seen as the very flame of resurrection and purification that Ho-Oh wields. It's the essence of life's renewal, even from ashes. The 50% burn chance isn't a random quirk. It's a deliberate act of purification, systematically weakening the opponent, not just through direct damage, but by slowly eroding their strength, much like a spirit being cleansed. Ho-Oh's fire flying typing perfectly aligns with sacred fire. The fire aspect is evident in the move's elemental nature, while the flying aspect speaks to Ho-Oh's celestial presence and its ability to descend from the heavens to bestow its sacred power. It's a move that emanates from a divine being, a gift of fire from the sky. Sacred fire is not just an attack, it's a blessing and a challenge. It's a test of resilience, a cleansing flame that sorts the pure from the impure. It speaks to Ho-Oh's role as a beacon of hope and renewal, even when that renewal comes through a trial by fire. It is a warm, comforting glow that also holds immense power, a duality that soothes and inspires. It's the gentle warmth of a sunrise, imbued with the ancient power to transform and renew, inviting a peaceful descent into quiet contemplation. Now let us turn our attention to the enigmatic Jirachi, the Wish Pokémon, and its unique attack, Doom Desire. Doom Desire is a Steel-type special move that strikes 2 turns after it's used. This delayed effect is not a weakness. It is the very essence of Jirachi's power as a wish granter, a subtle manipulation of destiny and time itself. Imagine Jirachi, small and ethereal, its 3 eyes closed as if in deep meditation, or perhaps looking inward into the fabric of time. When Jirachi uses Doom Desire, it doesn't immediately launch an attack. Instead, it seems to focus its will, an almost imperceptible shimmer of cosmic energy emanating from its body. Its single true eye on its belly might glow faintly, or perhaps the tags on its head, which are said to grant wishes when opened, vibrate with latent power. The animation for Doom Desire would be subtle at first, a faint, starry aura appearing around the target, perhaps a soft, shimmering outline that slowly intensifies over 2 turns. This isn't a direct attack, it's a cosmic decree, a wish for destruction that takes time to manifest. Then, on the 3rd turn, a brilliant shower of starlight, or perhaps a single, intensely focused beam of celestial energy, descends from above, striking the target with immense force. The sound of Doom Desire would be a soft, ethereal hum when first cast, like distant chimes carried on a cosmic breeze, slowly building into a crescendo of shimmering tones and then a powerful, yet clean impact sound as the wish is granted. Jirachi's lore as the Wish Pokémon is intrinsically linked to Doom Desire. It is said that Jirachi awakens for only 7 days every 1,000 years, and during that time, it can grant any wish. Doom Desire is a manifestation of this wish-granting ability, but with a darker, more destructive twist. It's not a wish for happiness or healing, it's a wish for the target's downfall, a declaration of intent that the universe then conspires to fulfill. The 2-turn delay isn't a technicality. It represents the time it takes for a wish to be processed by the cosmos, for fate to align, for the doom to be truly desired and then actualized. It's a testament to the idea that some wishes, even negative ones, require time and cosmic alignment to come to fruition. The steel psychic typing of Jirachi further deepens the understanding of Doom Desire. Its steel typing speaks to its resilience, its star-like composition, and the unyielding nature of its wishes. Once a wish is made, it is as firm as steel. Its psychic typing allows it to manipulate minds, and more importantly, in this context, to connect with the cosmic energies required to manifest its wishes. It's not just a physical attack, it's a psychically willed event, a manipulation of reality itself. Doom Desire highlights the duality of Jirachi's power. While it can grant wishes for good, it also possesses the power to manifest destructive desires. It's a reminder that immense power, even power as seemingly benign as wish granting, carries with it the potential for both creation and destruction. This delayed attack mechanic is a powerful narrative device. It creates suspense and forces strategic thinking, mirroring the slow, inevitable unfolding of a granted wish. It's not an impulsive act, it's a determined, fated outcome. Doom Desire is a celestial judgment, a preordained strike that underscores Jirachi's connection to the stars and the very fabric of destiny. It's a quiet declaration that once a wish is made, even a wish of ruin, it will eventually come to pass. It is the gentle, shimmering inevitability of the night sky, a quiet pronouncement that settles into the mind, bringing with it the peaceful certainty of cosmic order and the understanding that all desires, in their own time, find their manifestation. Transitioning from the cosmic wishes of Jirachi, we now journey to the legendary island of Regigigas, the colossal Pokémon, and its signature move, Crush Grip. Crush Grip is a normal type physical attack whose power varies based on the target's remaining HP. The higher the target's HP, the greater the damage. This seemingly straightforward mechanic carries a profound meaning rooted in Regigigas' lore as the creator and master of the legendary Titans. Imagine Regigigas, an ancient moss-covered giant, slowly stirring from its millennium-long slumber. Its immense, stony body begins to move, each joint creaking with the weight of ages. When Regigigas prepares to use Crush Grip, its massive hands, often depicted as glowing with an inner light, begin to close, slowly but with undeniable force. It's not a quick strike, it's a deliberate, methodical squeeze, an application of overwhelming, persistent pressure. The animation for Crush Grip would show Regigigas enveloping its target in its colossal hands, slowly tightening its grip. As the grip intensifies, the target would visibly struggle, perhaps emitting faint cracks or shimmers of distress, until the pressure becomes unbearable. The sound accompanying Crush Grip would be a deep, resonant rumble, like grinding tectonic plates, followed by a sustained groaning sound as the pressure is applied, culminating in a heavy, impactful thud as the grip is released. Regigigas' lore states that it created the three titans, Regirock, Regis, and Registeel, by shaping them from clay, ice, and magma respectively. Crush Grip symbolizes this raw, primordial power of creation, the immense strength required to mold the very earth and its elements. It's not a delicate touch, it's the power of a geological force, a slow but unstoppable crushing might. The varying power based on the target's HP isn't just a game mechanic, it represents Regigigas' ability to exert absolute dominance over even the strongest foes. The healthier the opponent, the more resistance they offer, and thus, the more force Regigigas can bring to bear in its crushing embrace. It's a demonstration of ultimate, overwhelming physical power, capable of subduing even the most formidable adversaries. The normal typing of Crush Grip is significant. It signifies a fundamental elemental strength, a pure, unadulterated physical force that transcends specific elemental affinities. It's the power of the earth itself, unembellished by fire or water or electricity. It's the bedrock of all physical might. Regigigas's ability Slow Start, which halves its attack and speed for the first 5 turns, further emphasizes the nature of Crush Grip. It takes time for Regigigas to awaken its full power, to channel its ancient strength. But once it does, once its full potential is unleashed, Crush Grip becomes an unstoppable force, a testament to its status as the colossal Pokémon, a being of immense, unyielding power. Crush Grip is a statement of dominance, a display of raw, primeval strength. It's the slow, inevitable force of gravity, the grinding of mountains, the pressure of deep earth formations. It's a move that evokes a sense of awe at the sheer, unadulterated power that lies dormant until awakened. It's a reminder of the foundational forces that shaped the world, a power that, once fully active, can reshape anything it touches. It is the deep, rumbling silence of ancient stone, solid and unchanging, a grounding presence that whispers of timeless strength in the profound stillness of deep earth, lulling the mind into a heavy, peaceful rest. From the slow, deliberate might of Regigigas, we now accelerate to the lightning-fast movements of Shaymin's Sky form and its signature move, Seed Flare. Seed Flare is a grass-type special attack that boasts a staggering 40% chance to lower the target's special defense by 2 stages. This isn't just a powerful plant-based attack, it's an explosive release of life energy, a fragrant yet potent burst of natural power. Imagine Shaymin in its sky form, its graceful, deer-like body adorned with a vibrant red flower, soaring through the air with incredible speed and agility. When it prepares to unleash Seed Flare, the flower on its neck begins to pulsate with a soft, green light. The air around it shimmers, not with heat, but with an intense, chlorophyll-rich aroma. From its mouth, or perhaps from the very essence of its blossoming flower, erupts a concentrated burst of shimmering emerald green energy, often accompanied by swirling petals and leaves. This isn't a gentle sprout. It's a sudden, beautiful explosion of encapsulated life force, a compressed seed blossoming with destructive power. The animation for Seed Flare would show a vibrant, almost luminescent green orb or burst of energy launched at the target, expanding upon impact into a swirl of light and perhaps ethereal petals, leaving behind a lingering, fragrant mist. The sound of Seed Flare would be a sharp, yet gentle whoosh, like a sudden gust of wind through a garden, followed by a soft, resonant pop, and then a faint, shimmering cascade of chimes as the energy dissipates. Shaymin's lore describes it as the gratitude Pokémon, capable of purifying polluted land and making flowers bloom. Its sky form, achieved by contact with a Grassidea flower, allows it to fly, and is often associated with the ability to cleanse and renew. Seed Flare is the ultimate expression of this regenerative yet potent power. It's not merely an attack, it's a concentrated burst of purifying life energy, capable of breaking down defenses and allowing new growth to begin. The incredibly high chance to lower the target's special defense by 2 stages isn't a random effect. It symbolizes the intense, penetrating essence of this life energy. It's as if the pure, concentrated, botanical essence of Seed Flare overwhelms the target's natural defenses, making them vulnerable preparing the ground for new possibilities, even if in a battle context it means further attacks. The grass flying typing of Shaymin's sky form perfectly aligns with Seed Flare. The grass aspect is evident in the move's elemental nature, representing the concentrated power of flora. The flying aspect speaks to Shaymin's agile aerial movements and the way it can unleash this potent energy from above, spreading its influence far and wide. Seed Flare represents the explosive potential within nature, the sudden burst of life that can break through barren ground, or in this case, break down an opponent's resilience. It's a beautiful contradiction, a delicate, flower-like Pokémon, unleashing a devastating yet purifying burst of energy. This move encapsulates the paradox of nature's power, seemingly fragile yet capable of immense transformative force. Seed Flare is a symbol of gratitude and renewal, even when expressed through an offensive act. It's a reminder that true power can be found in the most unexpected places, within the delicate beauty of a flower or the quiet strength of a seed. It's the gentle rustle of leaves, the soft scent of blossoms, and the silent, powerful growth of a forest, all compressed into a single profound exhalation that cradles the listener in a sense of natural wonder and deep, quiet peace. Continuing our journey through the legendary pantheon, we arrive at the majestic Arceus, the alpha Pokémon, and its unique attack, Judgment. Judgment is a normal type special attack that famously changes its type based on the plate Arceus is holding. This unparalleled adaptability and connection to all types of energy is the very core of Arceus's existence as the creator of the Pokémon world. Imagine Arceus, a being of pure light. Imagine Arceus, a being of pure light, standing at the dawn of creation, shaping the very fabric of reality. Its signature move, Judgment, is not merely an attack. It is an act of divine will, a manifestation of its omnipotence. The lore tells us that Arceus brought forth the universe with its 1,000 arms, and Judgment is an echo of that primordial surge of power. When Arceus holds a flame plate, Judgment becomes a fiery conflagration, capable of melting mountains and forging new landscapes. With a splash plate, it unleashes a torrent of water, carving out oceans and rivers. Each plate, infused with the essence of a particular type, allows Arceus to channel that specific energy through Judgment, showcasing its mastery over all elemental forces. This ability to adapt and change its type at will is a profound metaphor for Arceus's role as the progenitor of everything. It doesn't just wield a type, it is the type for that moment, fully embodying its essence. The move's power is immense, a base power of 100, reflecting its divine origin. It strikes with absolute precision, never missing, a testament to Arceus's infallible nature. The animation of Judgment often depicts glowing spheres of energy descending from the heavens, each sphere shimmering with the color and essence of the chosen type. This visual representation reinforces the idea of a cosmic, omnidirectional assault, a judgment passed from above. It's a move that transcends mere physical or special categories. It is a pure, unadulterated expression of divine power. When Arceus uses Judgment, it is not simply battling, it is asserting its dominion over existence itself. It reminds us of the profound interconnectedness of all things, how every element, every force, ultimately stems from a single, supreme source. The whisper of the wind, the rumble of the earth, the crash of the waves, all are echoes of Arceus's initial creative burst, and all can be channeled through Judgment. It is a move that whispers of forgotten epics, of the very beginnings of time, and of the boundless power that lies at the heart of all creation. Its rhythmic pulse is the heartbeat of the universe, a gentle thrum that reverberates through the very essence of being. Moving from the cosmic creator to a duo of legendary Pokémon intertwined with space and time itself, we encounter Dialga and its signature move, Roar of Time, and Palkia with its spatial Rend. These two Dragon Steel and Dragon Water legends, respectively, embody the very dimensions they govern. Roar of Time is a dragon-type special attack with a colossal base power of 150, but at a cost. It forces Dialga to recharge on the next turn. This drawback is integral to its lore. Dialga, the master of time, can accelerate or decelerate its flow, or even stop it entirely. Roar of Time is its ultimate expression of this control, a terrifying blast of temporal energy that distorts and tears at the fabric of time itself. Imagine a roar so potent it doesn't just create sound waves, but ripples through causality, briefly pausing the very progression of moments. The recharge turn isn't a weakness, it's a representation of the immense strain placed upon Dialga as it manipulates such a fundamental force. It needs a moment to regather its temporal energy, to realign the temporal currents it has so dramatically disrupted. The steel typing of Dialga might represent the unyielding, unchangeable nature of time's flow, its rigid structure, while the dragon typing speaks to its ancient, powerful, and primordial essence. Roar of Time is not just an attack, it's a temporal disruption, a temporary tear in the fabric of existence that only a being like Dialga could unleash. The very air around Dialga shimmers with temporal distortions as it gathers this immense power, a soft hum preceding the ferocious, reality-bending roar. Palkia, on the other hand, governs space, and its signature move, Spatial Rend, is a dragon-type special attack, also with a base power of 100 and a higher critical hit ratio. Spatial Rend allows Palkia to tear holes in the spatial fabric, creating rifts and dimensions. Imagine a move that doesn't just damage an opponent, but literally tears the space around them, sending shockwaves through the very coordinates of existence. The higher critical hit ratio might symbolize the unpredictable, volatile nature of tearing through space, how a precisely placed rift can have devastating, unexpected consequences. Palkia's water typing could be seen as representative of the fluidity and boundless nature of space, constantly expanding, contracting, and flowing, much like water. The dragon typing, again, speaks to its ancient primordial power. When Palkia unleashes Spatial Rend, it's not merely slicing, it's warping reality, bending dimensions to its will. The air crackles, and visible distortions ripple outwards as Palkia creates these temporary, devastating voids. The concept of space itself becomes a weapon in Palkia's hands, making Spatial Rend a move that transcends physical force, directly manipulating the very medium in which all things exist. The gentle whisper of collapsing dimensions, the soft shimmer of reality being momentarily unzipped, these are the subtle echoes of Spatial Rend. Then we have Giratina, the third member of this trio, the renegade Pokémon, residing in the Distortion world, a realm where the laws of physics are warped and inverted. Its signature move is Shadow Force, a ghost-type physical attack with a base power of 120. Shadow Force is a 2-turn move. On the first turn, Giratina vanishes into the Distortion world, becoming invulnerable to attacks. On the second turn, It emerges to strike its targets with devastating force. This move perfectly embodies Giratina's nature and its dominion over the Distortion world. Its ability to disappear and reappear at will, bypassing conventional defenses, is a direct manifestation of its mastery over this inverted dimension. The invulnerability on the first turn isn't just a mechanic, it's Giratina literally stepping out of our reality into a space where our rules no longer apply. The ghost typing is self explanatory, reflecting its ethereal, spectral nature and its connection to the underworld or a realm beyond our own. The raw power of Shadow Force is a testament to the destructive potential that lurks within the Distortion world, a force that can manifest unexpectedly and overpower its foes. The slow, ethereal fade as Giratina vanishes, followed by the sudden, chilling reappearance, is a dance between dimensions, a silent ballet of cosmic power. Next, we encounter Darkrai, the pitch-black Pokémon, and its signature move, Dark Void. Darkrai is a Dark-type mythical Pokémon known for causing nightmares, and Dark Void, a Dark-type status move, perfectly encapsulates this ability. It puts both adjacent opposing Pokémon to sleep with an accuracy of 50%. While its accuracy might seem low, the ability to affect two Pokémon at once is incredibly potent, reflecting Darkrai's pervasive influence over dreams. Dark Void isn't a direct attack, it's a psychological assault, a projection of nightmarish energy that plunges foes into a deep, unsettling slumber. The lore suggests that Darkrai acts out of self-preservation, unintentionally causing nightmares to those around it, as a defense mechanism. Dark Void is the purest expression of this. It doesn't aim to harm physically, but to incapacitate, to shield itself by enveloping its surroundings in a cloud of oppressive, sleep-inducing darkness. The move's visual often depicts swirling shadows and tendrils of dark energy engulfing the targets, drawing them into a dreamless or perhaps nightmare-filled sleep. The gentle murmur of unconsciousness, the soft, rhythmic breathing of slumber, these are the quiet echoes of Dark Void's profound influence. Shifting our focus to another legendary, the formidable Arceus, we revisit its unparalleled signature move, Judgment, which we touched upon earlier. As the alpha Pokémon, Arceus is considered the creator of the Pokémon world, and Judgment is the ultimate expression of its creative and destructive power. It's a normal type special attack with a base power of 100, but its defining characteristic is its ability to change type based on the plate Arceus is holding. This extraordinary adaptability is not just a battle mechanic. It's a deep reflection of Arceus's role as the progenitor of all things. When Arceus holds a zap plate, Judgment becomes an electric storm. With an icicle plate, it unleashes a blizzard. Each plate imbues Judgment with the essence of that specific type, allowing Arceus to manifest any elemental force at will. This ability symbolizes Arceus's dominion over every aspect of existence, its mastery of the fundamental building blocks of the universe. The move never misses, a testament to Arceus's divine precision and infallible power. Judgment isn't just an attack, it's an act of creation or destruction on a cosmic scale, a precise manifestation of divine will. The gentle hum of infinite possibility, the soft glow of nascent stars, these are the subtle energies that coalesce into Judgment. Moving into the 5th generation, we encounter Reshiram, the vast white Pokémon, and its signature move, Blue Flare. Reshiram, a dragon fire type, represents truth in the Unova region's lore. Blue Flare is a fire-type special attack with a base power of 130 and a 20% chance to burn the target. It is described as a powerful blue flame that can scorch the earth. The color blue in flames signifies extremely high temperatures, far exceeding typical red or orange flames. This detail perfectly aligns with Reshiram's status as a powerful legendary Pokémon that embodies truth and intense heat. The lore suggests that Reshiram's tail, which resembles a jet engine, is where this intense flame is generated. Blue Flare, therefore, is not merely a fire attack, it is a manifestation of pure, unadulterated energy, a searing blast that purifies and consumes. The high chance to burn reflects the extreme heat and destructive potential contained within this move, leaving lingering damage even after the initial impact. The dragon typing of Reshiram signifies its ancient power and majestic presence, while the fire typing is directly expressed through Blue Flare. The gentle crackle of superheated air, the soft shimmer of an intense blue light, these are the quiet heralds of Blue Flare. Opposite Reshiram is Zekrom, the deep black Pokémon, a dragon electric type representing ideals. Its signature move is Bolt Strike, an electric type physical attack with a base power of 130 and a 20% chance to paralyze the target. Just as Blue Flare embodies Reshiram's intense heat, Bolt Strike embodies Zekrom's raw electrical power. Zekrom's tail, much like Reshiram's, is its power generator, forming a massive electrical turbine. Bolt Strike is a ferocious charge, enveloped in immense electrical energy, striking with the force of a lightning bolt. The high chance to paralyze the target perfectly reflects the debilitating effect of a massive electrical shock, leaving foes stunned and unable to move. This move is a direct, overwhelming assault, a physical manifestation of Zekrom's unwavering ideals and immense strength. The dragon typing again speaks to its ancient, powerful lineage, while the electric typing is the very essence of Bolt Strike. The soft hum of contained electricity, the gentle thrum of raw power, these are the subtle preludes to Bolt Strike. And then there is Kyurem, the boundary Pokémon, a dragon-such ice type, formed from the empty shell of the original dragon Pokémon after Reshiram and Zekrom split. Kyurem has two signature moves, Ice Burn for its white Kyurem form, and Freeze Shock for its black Kyurem form. Both are two-turn moves with a colossal base power of 140 and a 30% chance to inflict a status condition. Ice Burn is an ice-type special attack with a chance to burn, while Freeze Shock is an electric-type physical attack with a chance to paralyze. These moves are unique as they represent Kyurem's ability to fuse with either Reshiram or Zekrom, absorbing their power. Ice Burn, when Kyurem fuses with Reshiram to become White Kyurem, combines the intense cold of Kyurem with the scorching heat of Reshiram. This creates a paradoxical attack, a blast of freezing fire that can both freeze and burn simultaneously. The two-turn nature signifies the immense energy gathering required for such a contradictory force, and the high power reflects the fusion of two legendary beings. The chance to burn, despite being an ice-type move, clearly points to Reshiram's influence, showcasing the interwoven nature of their powers. It's a move that defies conventional elemental logic, a representation of Kyurem's fractured yet immensely powerful nature. The gentle sigh of supercooled air, the soft gleam of icy flames, these are the quiet whispers of Ice Burn. Freeze Shock, when Kyurem fuses with Zekrom to become Black Kyurem, combines Kyurem's ice with Zekrom's electricity. This results in a devastating blast of frozen lightning, a physical assault that can both freeze and paralyze. Again, the two-turn charge and immense power reflect the combined might of these legendary Pokémon. The chance to paralyze, coming from an electric type move, directly points to Zekrom's influence. These moves are not just powerful attacks, they are living testaments to the shattered origins of Kyurem, its incomplete yet terrifying potential when it harnesses the powers of its counterparts. They embody the concept of extremes meeting, of fire and ice, lightning and frost, converging into singular devastating forces. The subtle crackle of frozen lightning, the gentle tremor of raw power, these are the soft preludes to freeze shock. Moving into the 6th generation, we encounter Xerneas, the life Pokemon, a fairy type, and Yveltal, the destruction Pokemon, a dark flying type. These two legendary Pokemon are the embodiment of life and death, creation and destruction, a cycle that defines the very world they inhabit. Xerneas' signature move is Geomancy, a fairy-type status move with a unique property. It's a two-turn move that upon completion sharply raises Xerneas' special attack, special defense, and speed stats by 2 stages each. This is an incredibly powerful setup move, and it perfectly encapsulates Xerneas' role as the bringer of life and growth. The two-turn charge, much like many powerful moves, suggests a gathering of energy, a slow but inevitable blossoming of power. Geomancy is derived from the word geo, meaning earth, and mancy, meaning divination or prophecy. In a broader sense, geomancy is a method of divination that interprets markings on the ground or patterns formed by tossed handfuls of soil, rocks, or sand. For Xerneas, this translates into drawing power directly from the earth, from life itself, to enhance its own abilities. The visual representation of geomancy often shows Xerneas' antlers glowing with an ethereal light, and the ground around it is shimmering with a soft, life-giving energy. This move isn't about direct damage. It's about preparing for a sustained battle, about empowering Xerneas to unleash its full potential. It's a testament to the idea that life, given time and nourishment, can overcome all obstacles. The gentle hum of growing energy, the soft glow of life's essence, these are the quiet whispers of geomancy. Then we have Yveltal, the destruction Pokemon, and its signature move, Oblivion Wing. This is a dark Surf-Flying type's signature move, a flying type special attack with a base power of 80. What makes Oblivion Wing truly unique is its ability to restore Yveltal's HP by 75% of the damage dealt. This vampiric effect perfectly reflects Yveltal's role as the harbinger of destruction and absorption of life force. Where Xerneas gives life, Yveltal takes it. Oblivion Wing is a move that sustains Yveltal in battle, feeding off the energy of its opponents. The name itself, Oblivion Wing, evokes a sense of finality, of being swept away into nothingness by the powerful wings of Yveltal. The animation for Oblivion Wing typically shows Yveltal soaring high, then diving down with its wings spread, releasing a dark, energy-sapping blast. The flying type aligns with Yveltal's majestic, bird-like form, while the HP absorption speaks to its lore as a creature that drains the life out of everything around it when it reaches the end of its lifespan. It's a move that truly embodies the concept of destruction as a means of sustenance, a brutal yet necessary part of the cycle of life and death. The subtle rustle of decaying energy, the gentle sigh of fading life, these are the soft preludes to Oblivion Wing. Following Xerneas and Yveltal, we arrive at Zygarde, the Order Pokémon, a dragon ground type. Zygarde is unique in that it has several forms, each with its own signature move, or rather, a set of moves that scale with its forms. The core of Zygarde's power lies in its cells and cores, which assemble to form its various stages. Zygarde's signature moves are Thousand Arrows, A Thousand Waves, and Core Enforcer. Thousand Arrows is a ground-type physical attack with a base power of 90. What sets it apart is its unique property. It hits flying-type Pokémon and Pokémon with the Levitate ability, dealing neutral damage, and then grounds them, meaning subsequent ground-type moves will hit them super effectively. This is a game-changing effect, as it removes one of the primary resistances to ground-type attacks. Thousand Arrows represents Zygarde's role in maintaining the ecosystem, ensuring balance. It's a move that brings lofty threats back down to earth, literally. The visual often shows a barrage of sharp, green energy projectiles raining down from above, pinning the opponent to the ground. This move embodies the idea of natural order, of everything having its place, and Zygarde enforcing that order. The gentle whir of descending energy, the soft thud of grounded power. These are the quiet whispers of Thousand Arrows. Thousand Waves, also a ground-type physical attack with a base power of 90, has a different secondary effect. It traps the target, preventing them from fleeing or switching out. This move further emphasizes Zygarde's control over its environment and its ability to maintain order. While Thousand Arrows brings opponents down, Thousand Waves holds them in place, ensuring they face Zygarde's judgment. It's a move that limits options, forcing a confrontation, much like how nature can sometimes be inescapable. The imagery for Thousand Waves often involves ripples of green energy spreading out from Zygarde, forming a cage around the opponent. This move, alongside Thousand Arrows, demonstrates Zygarde's versatility in battle, offering both offensive pressure and strategic control. The subtle tremor of contained energy, the gentle ripple of inescapable force, these are the soft preludes to Thousand Waves. Finally, we have Core Enforcer, a dragon-type special attack with a base power of 100. This move has the unique effect of nullifying the abilities of any Pokémon that has already used a move in that turn. This is a highly strategic move that disrupts opponents' plans and can turn the tide of battle. Core Enforcer is specifically tied to Zygarde's 50% form and complete form, showcasing its full power. The core in Core Enforcer refers to Zygarde's cores, which are the brains of the Pokémon, acting as its central nervous system. The move represents Zygarde's ultimate authority in maintaining balance, suppressing disruptive abilities that could throw the ecosystem into chaos. The animation for Core Enforcer is often a powerful beam of green energy emanating from Zygarde's chest, signifying the raw power concentrated within its core. It's a move that asserts dominance, bringing unruly forces back into line. The gentle pulse of core energy, the soft hum of suppressed power, these are the quiet whispers of Core Enforcer. Moving into the 7th generation, we encounter a new set of legendary Pokémon, starting with Solgaleo and Lunala, the emissaries of the Sun and Moon. Solgaleo, the Sune Pokémon, a psychic Shasher Steel type, has the signature move Sunsteel Strike. This is a Steel-type physical attack with a base power of 100. Its defining characteristic is that it ignores the target's ability when inflicting damage. This means abilities like Multiscale, Solid Rock, or Filter, which normally reduce damage, are completely bypassed. Sunsteel Strike embodies Solgaleo's power as the emissary of the sun, radiating immense light and heat that pierces through all defenses. The steel typing reflects Solgaleo's metallic, leonine form, while the sun steel part of the name directly links it to the sun. The animation often depicts Solgaleo charging forward, enveloped in solar energy, before unleashing a powerful headbutt or claw attack. This move represents an unstoppable force, a pure, unadulterated assault that cannot be mitigated by conventional means. It's a move that cuts through illusion and protection, much like the sun's rays can penetrate the deepest shadows. The soft glow of intense heat, the gentle shimmer of pure power. These are the subtle preludes to Sunsteel Strike. Lunala, the moon Pokémon, a psychic dark ghost type, has the signature move Moongeist Beam. This is a ghost type special attack, also with a base power of 100, and it shares the same ability ignoring property as Sunsteel Strike. Moongeist Beam ignores the target's ability when inflicting damage. Just as Solgaleo's attack represents the sun's unstoppable power, Lunala's attack represents the moon's ethereal and pervasive influence. The ghost typing aligns with Lunala's spectral, bat-like form and its connection to the night and the spiritual realm. The Moongeist part of the name clearly links it to the moon and the concept of ghosts or spirits. The animation for Moongeist Beam typically shows Lunala gathering dark, lunar energy before firing a powerful beam. This move, like Sunsteel Strike, is about raw, unmitigated power, but it originates from a different source, the mysterious and often unsettling energy of the moon. It's a move that bypasses defenses, not through brute force, but through an otherworldly, penetrating energy. The gentle whisper of lunar light, the soft hum of spectral power, these are the quiet whispers of Moongeist Beam. Completing the Alola region's main legendary trio, we have Necrozma, the Prism Pokémon, a psychic type that can fuse with Solgaleo, and Lunala. Necrozma, in its base form, has the signature move Prismatic Laser. This is a psychic type special attack with a colossal base power of 160. However, like many extremely powerful moves, it comes with a drawback. The user must recharge on the next turn. Prismatic Laser truly showcases Necrozma's power as a being of light and prisms. The prismatic part of the name refers to its ability to refract and control light. The animation often depicts Necrozma gathering intense light energy and then firing a devastating, multicolored beam. The high base power reflects the sheer destructive potential of concentrated light. The recharge turn signifies the immense energy expenditure required to unleash such a powerful attack, akin to a superweapon needing to cool down. It's a move that embodies both incredible power and the limitations that even legendary Pokémon face when wielding such destructive force. The soft hum of contained light, the gentle crackle of pure energy, these are the subtle preludes to Prismatic Laser. When Necrozma fuses with Solgaleo, it becomes Duskmane Necrozma, a psychic steel type, and gains access to Photon Geyser. This is a psychic type special attack with a base power of 100. What makes Photon Geyser unique is that it attacks using whichever of Necrozma's offensive stats, special attack or attack, is higher. This means it can adapt to Necrozma's current stat distribution, making it a versatile and powerful option. The photon in its name refers to particles of light, connecting it to Necrozma's light-based powers and Solgaleo's solar energy. The animation for Photon Geyser typically involves Necrozma unleashing a concentrated burst of light, often with a metallic sheen, reflecting the steel typing. It represents the combined power of two formidable legendary Pokémon, adapting its approach to maximize damage. The gentle pulse of radiant energy, the soft shimmer of adaptive power, these are the quiet whispers of Photon Geyser. When Necrozma fuses with Lunala, it becomes Dawnwing's Necrozma, a psychic ghost type, and also gains access to Photon Geyser. The move functions identically, attacking using whichever of Necrozma's offensive stats is higher. This adaptability is key to Necrozma's power, reflecting its ability to absorb and utilize the energies of other legendary Pokémon. In this form, the photon in Photon Geyser still refers to light, but it's infused with Lunala's lunar and spiritual energy, giving it a more ethereal quality. The inanimation, in this case, might feature a more ghostly or iridescent beam of light, reflecting the ghost typing. Photon Geyser, regardless of the fusion, epitomizes Necrozma's mastery over light and its capacity to wield it in its most potent form, a testament to its status as the Prism Pokémon. The subtle hum of coalescing light, the gentle rustle of spectral power, these are the soft preludes to Photon Geyser. Finally, in its ultimate form, Ultra Necrozma, a psychic dragon type, gains access to light that burns the sky. This is a psychic type special attack with an astounding base power of 200, and like Prismatic Laser, it requires a recharge turn. This move is the pinnacle of Necrozma's power, an unleashed torrent of pure light energy. The name itself, Light That Burns the Sky, is incredibly evocative, painting a picture of an attack so powerful it scorches the heavens. The dragon typing in Ultra Necrozma's form, alongside its radiant appearance, suggests it has absorbed so much light that it transcends its previous forms, becoming a being of pure, destructive energy. The animation for this move is nothing short of spectacular, depicting Ultra Necrozma unleashing an absolutely colossal beam of blinding light, wider and more intense than Prismatic Laser. The recharge turn is a necessary consequence of such immense power, indicating the sheer strain it puts on even a legendary Pokémon. This move is the ultimate expression of Necrozma's ability to manipulate and weaponize light, representing a power that is both beautiful and terrifying. The gentle roar of unleashed energy, the soft glow of celestial fire, these are the quiet whispers of light that burns the sky.